Misty. Hey, everybody. I'm assuming we're live. Let's see if we got anybody. Looks like we got two people. Two people here. Why don't you all sign in the chat and make yourself known. I hope I got Charlotte. All right, well, happy Saturday, everybody. I wasn't sure this was going to pull off tonight. And have network problems all evening. So we'll give everybody a chance to get signed in and settle down. I have got stuff everywhere in here. I hope I can function tonight. Let me check my cameras real quick. Looks like everything's working. Smokey's not here yet. Oh, there she is, right there on the table next to me. All right. So if you don't mind, let me know how my audio sounds. Am I too loud, too quiet, muffled? We're still playing with this. Sitting here in the Cabin Creek side tonight. It's one of the few backgrounds I got that doesn't have commercials running through it. There we got us a show now. How you doing, Charlotte?
Great. How are you, Grumpus?
I am wound up tighter than a banjo string.
Oh, no, why?
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I've been having network problems all evening.
Oh, no. Do you think it's your internet or your...
Well, I got an email, and I knew better. You know, everything was working.
Right.
I got an email from Comcast, right. Xfinity, that they had an upgraded modem/router, the one I was using. And it would give me the speeds that I'm paying for, because when I was using, I wasn't getting everything.
Right.
But everything was working. So I brought this thing home, plugged it in, and it commenced to taking over the whole house. And between Xfinity and Google and Microsoft, all trying to take control of everything I own.
Oh, my goodness. That's probably been a conundrum.
Well, I didn't have internet until maybe 3 minutes before I sent you the link.
Oh, my goodness.
I didn't know if this was going to happen or not.
Oh, wow.
In fact, I'm plugged directly into the new modem now.
Yeah.
Because it's the only thing in the house I can get internet on.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, I'm having to run through a VPN to get it to work, because if I disconnect my VPN, I can't get anything.
You might have to get some help.
Well, what I need to do is not have a time time pressure on me like I did tonight.
Right, right, right,
So I'll get it all figured out tomorrow. It's just I got two routers fighting each other to
right.
take control of. I mean, every device in your house has an address,
Sure.
and your router. You set your router up so it automatically assigns addresses to everything you plug in.
Mhm. Mhm.
But you can only have one boss in the system.
Right.
I got two routers trying to compete and take control over who's going to assign addresses.
Oh, good Lord.
Anyway,
See,
we're
now that
here.
would
I'm
cause
gonna
me to
get myself
throw
calmed
all
down.
of my electronics out the window.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I would do. I
Well, I
just
mean,
start over.
I got nobody to blame but myself because everything was working. I
Right.
got greedy. I wanted more speed that I didn't need.
You got greedy. You nut.
But this is the kind of stuff that keeps your brain working, keeps you getting old and senile.
Is that what it is?
That's what it is.
I think I'd rather be old and senile. Be careful what I wish for, okay? I don't know.
So that's how my days. I mean, I've been working on this since about 1 o'clock,
Oh, jeez.
and I have been running back and forth. I got the new router in here. I've got the router, the main router for the house is in the living room,
Right.
and basically my old router, the Xfinity router, I had it set up in a bridge mode where basically it just passes a signal through
Mhm.
unless my other router take care of it.
Mhm.
Apparently, this one here doesn't work exactly the same way.
It's a little more of a bully, huh?
I I mean, I was telling myself on the way over there to exchange the stuff out. I said, you got a live tonight. You know better. You know what's going to happen. And then the other voice on my shoulder said, "Oh no, you can take care of this. It ain't going to be no problem.
You know how to work this.
It,
Oh my
it's just a
gosh.
thing."
That is really unfortunate. I don't know how you deal with it. Oh, look. Poppy poured me the last of the tea,
Oh,
and I just looked over there and he's making more tea in the tea maker. So
oh,
that's unusual. That doesn't usually happen. They'll
uh,
kill it and then I come in and want more tea and there's no tea in the pitcher.
he's
So
done something or he wants something.
yeah. So how was your week other than this router fiasco?
It was just a week of Mondays,
Mm-hmm. Gosh.
just
Oh.
like every week.
Well, see now, most people think that's a terrible thing, but Monday is my favorite day of the week because
Well, they all seem to be the same to me.
Monday is the day everybody goes back to school and back to work, and I get the house all to myself again.
Oh, okay.
So it's always a good day for me because I feel like I can do what I want to do. I could sleep in mostly. I can go work in my garden in peace. I don't have to deal with the dog because I can leave him in the crate till 9 o'clock, you know, until he starts hollering to get out. So, yeah, it's nice. Mondays are good for me.
Look where this cat thinks she has to stay. Right here.
Hey, Smokey.
She won't go in her chair where she's supposed to go.
Oh
She's
my God.
right there. You
Right
can see,
there on you.
you can see the mess I've got everywhere.
I do.
I've got boxes. I got boxes over. I barely got enough room to move my mouse.
That's funny. You'll get it. You'll get it figured out.
Oh, I know I will. But
I
I'll work
lost
on it. I'll
three
work on it
fish this
tomorrow with a fresh set of eyeballs. I won't have
week.
a time pressure me, and
Yeah,
it'll probably be real simple.
that fresh set of eyeballs always works wonders, doesn't it?
It may be as simple as going through and shutting everything down in the house and turning it back on one at a time.
Right. And if you're like Poppy, just clean it.
Yeah.
That's the first thing he does. When there's an electronic that is not working right, he will
Yeah.
clean it. And 75% of the time it works. 75%. Hey, Jackie, how are you doing tonight? Good to see you.
Well, there she is.
Um,
Well, see, I didn't. The problem I'm having. I mean, it's working.
mhm,
It's just when you first sign up for anything Google, let's say
mhm.
Gmail, you sign up. I signed Vicky up. Her something happened to her email, so we set her up a new account, and I just went with Gmail.
Mhm.
But just to get email, she had to sign up for a Google account. She had to sign up for this, had to sign up for that. Now we got calendars taking over everything. And I mean, the whole Google just got its tentacles down into everything
Yes.
just for an
Yeah.
email address. And Microsoft tries to do the same thing. Every time you turn around, Microsoft's wanting you to sign in for this or sign in for that.
Yeah.
And now Xfinity is the same way. They
Uh,
want your whole house to run off their box so they can keep an eye on your phones and your internet and your emails, and I mean, just
well, can't you tell it no?
that's what I've been trying to do. But apparently that's hidden down deeper in the bowels than I've had time to go check.
That or it just doesn't want to take no for an answer.
There's a button there somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I lost 3 fish this week.
Oh no. How
Yeah.
many did you buy? You only bought what, six,
No, no,
five?
no. I bought 10 and they sent 11.
Oh, okay.
So I have 8 still, and they
Okay.
seem to be okay, but I think I'm starting to see signs of the ick on one of them.
Are
So I
they in the
got some
pond?
ick treatment. I'm sorry?
Are they in the pond or still in your
They're
tank?
in the pond now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I just got the tank back here for because I'm too lazy to empty it right now.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I've got the filter and everything turned off. I do have the sponge filter running in it, just in case I decide to buy more fish and put them in there. But I won't use that water. I don't even know.
Well, if you can catch him, you might want to put him in there and treat the tank instead
I
of
got to
trying to
treat
treat the
that whole
pond.
pond. If there's one ick, it's going to spread to all of them. So I've got to treat the whole pond because what happens is the little white spots they
They're
have
like
little
a cyst.
yeah, and when it busts open, all of it sinks to the bottom of the container, and then it goes from there. So once those things bust open, and they might have already done so, I looked at him tonight, and there was more white spots than there were 2 days ago. And so anyhow, that's where I'm at. So I bought the ick treatment, and I'm going to do that in the morning.
Did
Um,
you get enough to treat the whole
the
tank?
whole pond, the whole pond.
Okay.
Yeah. Um,
Well,
so we'll see what happens.
you could probably pick you up some rock salt too
I've got some.
for ice cream and just
Right. Well, I've got the bag just called aquarium salt, but
excuse me. Hey, get out of the way.
smoky.
Get out of the way. See what I got? Hey,
He's getting some bad habits from Birdie, isn't he?
why don't you go lay on your
Jeez.
chair? Why don't you go lay on your chair?
She's so pretty. She
Why
is
don't you lay
such
down
a
there?
beautiful kitty. Oh, she said no. Smokey, lay by the fire.
She's she's a mess.
She's a good kitty.
So
So anyhow, there's that. But let me tell you, I harvested my first cucumber.
oh yeah?
and I've got at least 6 more on there that are still just they're trying to size up. I figure maybe Monday they'll be ready.
So
Maybe.
are those the like the smooth cucumbers, or are they the bumpy ones like you'd pickle?
Oh well, they're burpless cucumbers. They're the long ones. You know,
Okay.
they're not smooth. They have a few spikes on them. But I also have pickling cucumbers that are growing too, but they're a little bit behind the burpless. I bought the burpless as seedlings, and I planted the pickling ones as seeds.
So do you pickle them, or how do
Uh,
you eat them?
I'd rather eat them. I like pickling cucumbers better than I do normal grocery store cucumbers. I
Okay.
think they taste better. They're crisper. They don't have as many seeds. They, I think they're a little sweeter. I think they're good.
And when did you plant those seeds?
Oh gosh, about April 15th.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, because that's when I planted a lot of that stuff. That's the weekend that the whole garden got put back together,
Okay.
at least enough to plant out.
Did you plant anything before April?
No,
Any seeds?
mm-mm,
Okay.
mm-mm.
'Cause I'm trying to plan next year because
Oh, okay,
we got an early start this year,
yeah,
earlier than normal, about a month's jump, and we
okay,
got stuff coming up, filling in pretty nice already.
good.
And Vicky's getting really excited about that.
Oh, I bet she is.
And we got seeds coming up. She's decided she's going to be the seed queen next year.
For her. You should get her some of those seed trays. You
We
know,
we got so much of that stuff in the greenhouse,
oh,
just
do you?
on
Okay.
shelves.
Hey, Susie. Well, I do. I have.
Hey, Susie,
Hey, Tom. I mean, Terry. I'm sorry.
Gary's here. Okay, I hadn't been watching the chat. Sorry.
Um.
Tom's here too.
Oh, is he?
I totally ignored the chat.
Oh gosh, this is not. Look, I can't get used to this apple. Yeah, there's Tom.
Well, I
That's
wished I could help you, Charlotte.
with with. Well, I'll tell you what I can't get used to. Um, my Chromebook is a touch screen, and I can just flip up and down.
Uh
And
huh.
this is not.
Oh, okay.
I'm always trying to flip on the chat, and I can't. So I'll just use my phone instead. Um, what did she say? Oh, bumpless cute. I thought you were saying burp, burbless, burpless. Well, it's both. I have both. I have bumpless and burpless.
Now she's excuse me.
Hmm.
She's really getting excited on these
Oh,
moonflower
good.
things.
Have you gotten any flowers yet?
Oh no, no, no. But they're crawling up on a little. She's got a little trellis thing. It's got four legs, almost like a tomato,
Okay.
but it's only got the vertical legs. They come up, and then they all come over around it at the top,
Okay.
and a little point there on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're up about 2.5 feet now,
Oh wow.
and I told her, I said, well, those only bloom at night. I said, it's a shame you go to bed at 8.
They'll probably bloom while she's still awake. As long as it's well, I don't know.
So you
In the
might have to sit
fall.
out on deck with me with a glass of wine or something.
Yeah, yeah. Drag her out there on the weekend. Um, my garden absolutely looks like a jungle right now. Um, and it makes me happy.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm
Our stuff is filled in real nice already.
the problem is I've got okay, I've got cucumbers planted on the arbor, right? Oh, Poppy finished the arbor this weekend. Well,
Sweet.
finished is relative. It is up and functional. All we have to do is stain the last 5 posts to match the rest of the garden. So that don't bother me a bit. I'm fine with that. But hey Denise, um, excuse me. Uh, what was I talking about? The arbor.
The arbor.
So I have the cucumbers growing up that, and then I have these white cucumbers, and I always wanted to grow some of them, but I always forget. Well, this year I bought a seed packet of them. So I put 3 little seeds in the corner, thinking there's no way they're going to grow. They're not going to get enough sun. Well, guess what? They're growing. So they're growing all along the 4 foot fence. And then I've got another 2 by 4 foot bed that I put 6 cucumber plants in. And now they're going wild. And I didn't have a trellis at the time that they started getting bigger. So I put tomato cages in there, big ones, the tall ones. Well, they're about to outgrow the tall ones. So I'm going to take that ladder mesh and I'm going to do this over it and let them grab onto that.
Okay. Okay.
But I got to wire it together tomorrow. I took it out of the bed it was in because it wasn't really doing any good there. Um, so I want to wire it together. So it's like, I bought 2 of them and I want to put them, next to each other. So it's about a foot wide instead of
Okay.
6 inches. So I think they'll do okay on there. Once they reach it, they can go wherever they want to. Hello, pretty. Hello,
Yeah, I've
pretty.
got one. I've got one cattle panel left,
Yeah.
a full one that I'm gonna bend it into a big arch.
Oh, that'll
I'm
be
hoping I
nice.
can do it at the gate.
No more food truck. Jackie, I'm having a good day. Oh, that's good to hear, Terry. Terry has been struggling,
Yeah, I
Grumpus.
know. Been a rough year or two for him.
Yeah, I know. Who's sunburned from the beach? I bet that's Denise. Shoot, let me look at my. Ouch! You're hurting me, you bozo.
He's talking about my location tonight. I'm at the cabin on the river.
Oh, yeah. That's funny. Hey, I like that. Yep, I knew it was. Oh, did you have a good time, Denise? She came down here on the coast. Uh,
Denise,
mm-hmm. She lives in Mississippi, just not down here where I live.
which one is that?
Bone tired travelers.
Oh, that's okay. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I ever heard her name before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, she lives in Mississippi, just farther north.
So have you scheduled a trip to your water garden nursery yet?
You know what? We were going to do that today, and then we just didn't. And I don't know if they're open tomorrow. I need to do that in the next couple of weeks or so. Murphy has an MRI tomorrow, so we can't do it tomorrow. In fact, he's got to get up early. They got to be there by 9 o'clock, and I'm gonna sleep. Oh, you're leaving in the morning. Still here, staying between Gulfport and Long Beach. I'm glad you had a good time.
Well, I'm wanting to report on the nursery, see if that's a trip I need to make.
You know what? I will give you one as soon as I get there. I will do a video if they'll let me, and I'll send it to you. Um, I'm excited to go. I really am. I enjoy places like that. I mean, it's so
Now, what was their
all the town.
website?
I'm sorry. It was called. Oh lordy,
Because I couldn't find it online.
hang on. I will tell you. I keep forgetting where Google is on this new
I
phone.
got papers everywhere.
Okay, Water Garden, Mobile, Alabama. It's called. Oh well, Pond Elegance of Mobile. It's a 1.5 acre to shop koi aquatic plants and all other pond supplies at 3210 Dawes Road, Mobile, Alabama. Has 5 stars on Yelp.
I can't. Oh, Pond Elegance.
Hmm.
There it is. Okay. I'm going to. So that's it. That looks like a cute little place.
It does, doesn't it?
So they build ponds. You got
Hmm.
fish. Okay. How many acres you say they had?
1.5. I think that's a good size, for a business.
And
Like,
they are open to the public.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
10 to 5.
Okay.
Um,
That's pretty cool. Okay.
and maybe one day, uh, I'll be able to call them and say, "Hey, come over to my house and build me a pond."
Look what I found.
What'd you find? Hey, Tom.
How you doing, buddy?
What's up, kiddo? How you guys doing? All right?
Yeah,
So
doing
far.
great.
I got to thank you, Mr. Grumpus.
You got to thank me.
Yes, sir. I turned around and I hardwired everything.
Say that again. I didn't hear you.
I hardwired everything.
Oh,
All the
oh,
computers.
yeah. Are you happy with that?
Man, I tell you what a big difference.
Oh, yes. You got some speed now.
It's just- I mean, today I put up a video for one of the other channels, and by the time I got done looking for fixing my thumbnail, that joker was up. So,
Nothing beats the speed of a wire.
I mean, it's unbelievable, unbelievable. So you're having trouble with your new router, huh?
Well, I was under a time crunch, and I don't know how much you heard, but it's trying to take over the whole house, and I don't want it to.
Boy, I tell you.
I've got my own router that runs all my switches and assigns addresses to everything. It supplies everything. I can I've got a signal all the way around my property, and I can go to the neighbors and still pick up my router.
Oh, wow.
But you have to have a modem which converts that cable into the signal that the router needs. So you used to in the olden days you had two pieces of hardware. You had the modem and it plugged into the router. Now everybody's trying to build them into one unit, and it's getting harder and harder to plug a modem in without it trying to overtake the house.
Mhm.
And each router wants to assign addresses to your printers and your tablets and everything like that. And if you get two of them trying to do that at the same time, you get all kinds of it's just data blow up.
It
Yeah.
sounds like a complete disaster.
So you just have to isolate everything, and the thing is, to direct wire your computer straight into to the router, so that you can make the changes you need. Because if the other one's connected with it, it keeps you from doing it.
Yeah.
You can't access
Comcast.
it. So you got to individually isolate all these different pieces and
Right.
systematically turn this off and then turn that one back on and turn it all on in a certain order so everything sees what it needs to do.
Right.
And I put pressure on myself today by doing it today. I should have left that son of a gun in the box till tomorrow.
Yeah, but we got to worry about tomorrow too.
Oh, I was excited. Well, I got time trials tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. And the funny part about it is, um, you'll get messages from Microsoft, okay,
Oh yeah,
and but there's no way to get out of them, okay. There's no delete button on them. Let's put it that way. So you got
yeah.
to X out of it, and you got to keep going. Then you got to go to them and shut everything off on that.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
what I
Okay.
was telling Charlotte earlier. Between Google and Microsoft and
Yeah.
Xfinity, all wanting to run my house,
Right.
it.
Yeah.
Here you go, Charlotte.
I did. I put a
Oh, you
message.
already got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
now I
So
see it.
so so I had to get a cable. Okay. So I had
Ethernet
to, had,
cable.
and yeah. So I ordered what you told me. So I got a 15-foot cable, and that went to Marie's computer, and that stopped all the nonsense with her because the
Yep.
Wi-Fi just wasn't enough for her to upload a video.
Right.
Okay, everything else in the house runs off of Wi-Fi. Now I have my two computers, okay, that I got set up. Now, for me to put up a video, say a 10-minute video, to upload it from export it from OpenShot to YouTube.
Okay.
Well, it's taken a long time. Well, I plugged hers in to mine just to see what would happen, and bam, like that. So next thing you know, I'm on what do you call it, Amazon.
Yeah.
I need another cable. Well, I eyeballed from my computer to where the modem was, okay, and 10 feet, okay, Mister Know It All. Yeah, 10 feet. It was this friggin'
Oh
short.
no!
I al- I always order them longer.
But I thank you for that information because it really helped out. And what I did was I went to the cable company and I got a longer cable
Uh-huh.
from coming in, and now I have the modem inside here, so
Mhm.
it's working out real well.
Yeah. Well, you know what I'm talking about. You got a modem router combo.
Right. Yeah. You got to shut everything off. And Comcast. I remember back in the day, Comcast was the fastest internet service there was. Okay. I mean, it was like lightning speed when I first got it.
Yeah.
And once they started raising the prices, I turned around and I sent them a message. Screw you. You stink. You stuff. Until I tried to find somebody else, and guess what? They said you need a connection to Comcast. So
Uh-huh.
I had to write back, sorry.
Oh no! Oh no!
I'd like to have my service back, please.
Oh.
Amazing. Simply
I
amazing.
mean, I'm still with Comcast because that's you're right. They're the fastest thing around here.
Yeah, yeah. But I got Cox, and I just upgraded it a little. I mean, it gave me a break. Sometimes it's good to be an old bastard.
Yeah.
So they gave me set me a pretty good deal. So it's like the second to the fastest speed that I could get here,
Yeah.
and they gave me some kind of a
Yeah. You
deal
get
on it.
you getting drunk on speed now.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, whoa! I might do 6 videos today.
I, I was talking to my nephew up in Dallas the last time I was up there. He does all the security cameras and stuff for the school district up there.
Hmm.
And I was telling him about the speed I had here at the house. He says, "Why?" He said, "I've only got blah 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 for the whole district." I said, "Yeah, but it's there. You just got to have it
Gotta
for
have it.
Yeah,
it's there."
yeah,
He said, "But why do you need it?" I says, "It used to take me over an hour to steal a movie. Now I can get one in 5 minutes."
right, exactly. Uh,
Well,
Unbelievable.
before I got this fiber from AT&T, it would take me over an hour to upload a video to YouTube, and now it takes about 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah, it's nice.
And it is nice because you don't have to sit there and wait, and make sure everything's done right. And just it does it.
They're
In
talking
fact,
about
go ahead. I'm
they're,
sorry.
they're talking about putting fiber in out here.
Get it.
Oh, if it comes in, I'll tell you what, I'll
Get
be
it.
feel like I'm on a rocket ship.
I know. It's wonderful. I love it.
I mean, I've got fiber it run across the backyard. AT&T put fiber in, I think last summer,
Yeah.
but I've still got Comcast. I mean, I've got 1 gig service coming in, so
That's what I got too.
I still prefer the cable over the fiber because I mean it's still tied in your phone system and phone lines and all that.
Mm.
Did y'all see
Hmm.
the Mexican ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge today?
What?
Another boat hit a bridge,
Yeah.
Wow.
the
I
Brooklyn Bridge. Oh crap!
Oh, the sailboat.
Yeah. It's a Navy ship.
Yeah.
They're having Fleet Week up there this week.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness!
It's terrible. 19 people were injured on the ship. Apparently, it was full of, it's a training ship, and it was full of cadets
Ah,
in
jeez.
the Mexican Navy. Yeah. Um, Crazy. Just crazy.
That's insane.
Well, it was being tugged out. So it's not even the ship's fault. You know,
I find it hard to believe somebody couldn't look up there and see them masts were kind of tall.
that's what I'm saying. They look up and go,
I
I
mean,
don't think that's going to make it.
Everybody's too
I've never
too
been in the Navy, but I know when a boat's too tall.
Right, right. Um, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me, but
land ho. Unbelievable.
what we're Wesley when he saw it, he goes, "If that was being tugged, that tugboat captain's in a lot of trouble."
I would think so.
And then we enlarged the video, and you could see the tug on the other side of the boat, and I think
Yeah,
they're
that's when you grab your heart and just kind of flop around on the deck.
darn right you do.
Where am I?
Yeah.
Have an epileptic. Oh gosh, I,
That's
I
like
would be making something up. I know that.
I had a friend of mine tell me, "Why don't you come back east?" He says, "I got tickets, airline tickets that I'm not going to be using. Why don't you come back? Long weekend or something like that." I said, "You couldn't get me on an airplane right now, okay? Especially going back there."
Right,
I said, "Nah, no, 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 no,
not
no,
gonna
not
happen.
not doing it. It's not prudent." Unbelievable. Too much. Everybody depends too much on technology now with everything.
Yes, I agree.
I see people like I said last week. I go pick my grandson up and they have a sliding door at McDonald's. One goes this way, and then they have another inside one that goes this way, and that's for robbery or people trying to get something and run out. So you got
Oh,
to go
yeah.
through two different types.
Hey, Jane Doe.
Hey Jane, and watching these people, they were all like this, all right, and they walk bang right into the door.
Oh, oh.
So I told my grandson, I says, "Well, I got to move over one parking spot, and I got shorts right there. People banging their faces into glass. I mean,
I like it.
that should be a million views right there.
You know it.
Unbelievable. Too many.
I I think you should do that. But put it on Instagram because Instagram goes more viral, I think, than YouTube does.
You know what? I have the one thing about my finger cut. I'm going to put that up on Instagram.
You should. Yeah. Make it a reel.
Yeah. So, how's your garden growing there, my lady?
Oh, oh,
Going
crazy.
good?
It's crazy right now. Now look, it's not gonna last. As soon as the second week of June hits, it's gonna be hot AF and everything's going to start to die and get blight and all the things. But right now, it is beautiful and it is thriving. And I've got cucumbers, I've got tomatoes on the vines already. I mean, they're not red yet, but,
Yeah.
and oh my gosh. So I found these old seeds. I think I told y'all this.
Mm-hmm.
And I planted them to see if they would grow. And they're my favorite tomatoes of all time. It's called Virginia Sweets.
Okay.
Two came up. So I babied them till they got big enough to plant. They were maybe this big. And I planted them, and now they've got flowers on them. And there's one little tiny tomato I can see.
Nice.
And I'm so excited because
Success.
if I can keep that plant alive, I don't want to eat the tomato. I mean, I do, but that's not what's important. I need a whole tomato
Get the seeds.
to get the seeds out of so I don't ever have to buy them again.
So
So
will they come back true like that?
Uh-huh.
They're not
This
hybrids, are they?
no, not a hybrid.
Okay.
so
And
so wild woman here. Okay. We had to. I mean, I had to grow light a whole bit, and I got one basil that would come up out of the ground, out of the pot, go up maybe about an inch, and then go bloop, all over.
oh no.
So Miss saves a lot. Okay, I have skewers, I mean, I'm looking for my skewer. Where the hell's the skewers at? Thing up, put on it. But now that the weather has changed,
Mhm.
she moved everything outside, and I mean, it looks like a jungle. Everything is.
I bet it does.
So I told her, I said, maybe these, the seeds that we wasted a lot of seeds for the basil. Maybe they're not made for indoor. Maybe they're just made for outside, and that's it. You know what I mean? With the elements, I have no idea.
Thank you,
But
Jay.
she takes she takes today. I'm cutting up jalapenos and mini red bell peppers.
Mhm.
I did a cook today, right? And I'm trying with the camera and I'm talking and I'm just going like this with the seeds. And next thing I know, her hand comes in and scoops the seeds away. And I looked at it. I shut the camera. What are you doing?
She's getting seeds to plant.
No, not only that, okay, but then boom, I hear the front door close. What are you doing? I'm trying to make this outside. Shoot, throwing the seeds everywhere.
I love it.
I'll need a machete to get out of the house.
Did
So,
we see dog Leo? And the new Pope's name is Pope Leo. So I have my Leo dressed in a Pope costume. I love it. I love it. Thank you, Jane Doe. Jane Doe's dropping links for
She
everybody.
is. She's name dropping.
thank
Yeah.
you, thank you, thank you.
Um,
Appreciate it, Jane.
no, Susie, but I'm gonna go look as soon as I'm done here. Oh my goodness, that is great.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, that's the only thing really going on around here. Garden's growing, paint's drying.
Uh, Unbelievable. So
uh,
I went to the doctor this past week. Both of us did. Matter of fact, they make our
oh, they
appointments
made
now.
you go together, didn't they?
Yeah. So the doctor sits down with me and he starts. I'm going to do you first, Tom or Thomas. He was calling me Thomas, young
Almost.
guy. And off we go. About we need to get your blood work done. I said, well, as long as you understand the way I eat, okay.
Mm-hmm.
And when I do come back after I get my blood work done, that all of a sudden you don't want to still put me on pills.
Right.
And he said, well, he pulled the age deal on me.
Uh,
You know, the Pope. So look at that, out like a light.
oh, look at him.
That's pretty cool.
He sleeps like I do.
Yeah, that's
He's
funny.
beautiful. Is that two of them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
retired police dogs.
They are gorgeous.
He's up there like this. Unbelievable. Yeah, so we hit it off pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Good.
And yeah, I mean, just well, at your age, and he didn't know how to say that. At your age, there you go.
Well, how old?
Windows on it. You got to watch that video. That's a good video,
I might check it out.
if I must say so myself. So we'll see what happens. Go down the line, and then Mammy Yokum. All right, nothing wrong with her. I mean, nothing,
Not a thing.
not a thing. I said, so why did you want us both in here together? He said, I heard you're a handful. Too funny.
That's great.
Too funny.
Well, sometimes you have to be a handful.
Yeah,
But
well, I mean, I
I believe you might take it a little far sometimes.
no.
No, no.
Nah. Just when they want to put me on something I don't want to do. You know what I mean? Now the new thing is they're going to hit you with wellness. Okay.
Wellness.
We want to check out your wellness. Oh, okay. What do you mean wellness? Well, we want you to go get a colonoscopy. Nope, not doing that.
Hard pass.
Yeah, we want you to go. We want you to go see the cardiologist. Might need another heart cath. Nope, not doing that.
Doing that.
That ship sailed. Where else you want me to go? Well, you have to go to the eye doctor. Yeah, well, I can do that. No, I says, for the colonoscopy, that says exit only. That's it. Let's not go any further.
Well, they put you to sleep. You don't
There's
even
enough pictures that need to be taken.
know where they've been.
I got to tell you a story. Now, we had my brother had a company who did movies for. In other words, they had do videos for sewer systems.
Okay.
Okay, so he had a camera that would go in, you put it into the manhole, and
Oh,
this
yeah.
thing would come through and take a picture, see where was a break or whatever.
Yeah.
So he gave me one of the videos. Okay, it's like an hour of these different pipelines and stuff.
Yeah.
So my other brother, okay, lived in Florida. He's one of them that kept busting my chops. Hello, how you doing? Kept busting my chops about getting a colonoscopy. So I said, I had one done. Leave me alone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I said, you know what? I even got proof. So I took this of this manhole and this sewer system, and I sent it to him.
No, you did not.
He called me every name in the book. You're an idiot. I said, you watched it though, didn't you?
Oh gosh, that's funny. Oh my
Unbelievable.
goodness.
I know it's
Seventh
preventable.
son is here.
Good grief.
Stephen O. So Grumpus, how you been? How was your week other than today? Other than that nonsense.
Yeah, it was just a typical week. It we got it's slow. I guess the big picture is we're just slow.
Mm.
But we get hammered with handful of orders at one time,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody's busting their tail trying to get it out in time, and then we got nothing else to do. So it's kind of hard to space that work out
Yeah.
when it all comes in on the same day.
Sure.
Means it all needs to ship on the same day. So we've been a little tense this week trying to get some new stuff in.
Yeah. Isn't it funny how I mean times change and everything? I can remember as a kid filling out the box top, all right?
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
To get a 1,000-piece fishing set or a whatever 100-piece fishing set,
Right.
tackle box, and it was 21 days later. Ooh, look what came in the mail! Now I get mad. Amazon says no, it's 2 days. You gotta wait 2 days. I'm pacing back and forth.
2 days? What's wrong with them? Are they broke?
Yeah, what the hell?
It's bad, Tom.
Yeah.
I'll have a choice of things to buy, and I'll only get the one that comes tomorrow.
Well, with the cable, I was like this.
And then the kicker is it takes me 2 days to pick it up.
Oh my goodness.
I know that fact.
Oh my goodness.
I didn't, I'm pacing back and forth waiting for the cable. Okay, I'm staring at Marie because she's doing something on her computer with the direct connect. And I'm pacing back and forth. Should I pay the $2 for the next day delivery?
Oh no.
Oh boy, I tell you.
I probably would have paid the $2.
Well, you know what?
I'll tell
What?
look,
What?
Walmart has gotten to where because I have Walmart Plus.
Okay.
And so because they deliver groceries and you don't have to pay $9.99 every time to get a delivery. You pay like $12.99 a month and you get as many deliveries as you want for that price.
Mm-hmm.
And but now, okay, they used to deliver within an hour window frame, like say from 9 to 10 or 10 to 11. And now they've made it a 2 hour window, 9 to 11, 12 to 2, whatever. So they also have a get it in 1 hour or less, pay an extra $5, or get it in 3 hours or less, pay $10. No, 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 vice versa. 3 hours, pay five, 1 hour, pay 10. And sometimes it's all in the same day. Okay. I can choose to get my order at 3 o'clock or pay $10 and it'll be here at maybe 9 because I'm ordering at 8. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. I have to stop myself from
That gets
spending
that,
the
that
$5
gets up
or
around
the
30
$10.
bucks. I'll bring it to you.
Right, right.
Like the Pony Express.
Yeah.
So,
I seen the other day. I seen a Walmart delivery truck. Okay,
mhm.
that got rear-ended on a highway,
Oh
and
no.
there was stuff everywhere. And I said, you know what? That was probably either somebody related to me, okay, out here, or me. If I ordered something, that's where my order would be.
Exactly right.
Yep,
In
yep.
an hour or more, or 6 days later.
Like,
It's insane. It really is insane. But you know what? When we fall for it,
sometimes,
I remember my dad telling me, "You're going to pay for TV, you're going to pay for water, and a couple other things that he said, and it all came true."
yeah,
Oh yeah.
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 Um, but-
Well, I remember being in school, in elementary school, and them telling us that one day we would be able to talk on the phone and see each other's faces. And I'm like, there's no way. That can't happen. And here we are.
Oh yeah. Same way with cable.
Yeah.
They talked about. I mean, we all had antennas. They talked about running
Hmm.
cable there to each house, and
that's what he
oh,
talked about. Yeah,
what do we need that for?
Right? What do we need
I
that?
was, I was known as Rabbit Ears when I was a kid.
Yeah. Had to get that foil adjusted just right.
Just have it up right.
Oh my.
Unbelievable.
My grandmother had foil on her antennas in the house. That was great.
Unbelievable. That's
Um,
it.
Now I was the official remote control of the family.
Yeah.
Hey,
Yep.
Charlotte, get up there and turn to channel 4. All
Yep.
right. And you had to do it just right. You
Yep.
couldn't speed through it because if
Go
you
nice and
missed it,
easy.
you had to go all the way around again.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Just tick off the old man. He did not care for that.
Mm-mm.
So,
And let me tell you something. I don't care what was going on in the house, but if all of a sudden, if you had something else on and Hogan's Heroes was on,
oh boy,
hey, you almost got a foot right directly up your behind.
I
Amazing.
understand.
Simply amazing.
My dad liked to watch. Was it called Barney? Uh,
Barney Miller.
Barney Miller.
Yeah.
Yep.
Barney Miller, and but not when it was the original. When it was originally on. He watched reruns.
Oh
Okay,
Stuff you'd
Hogan's
already seen.
Heroes. I mean, 5,000 times.
no,
Okay,
no.
Jesus, here we go. I was telling Marie. Marie did a story about when she was kids and what they played and this and that,
Right.
and dug up something and was told it was an ancient Indian thing, this and that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said to her, I said, you know what? I remember as a kid. I mean, 8 years old, 9 years old. Think you're a tough guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And all the neighborhood kids, we're going to go camp out in summertime. That was the big thing. We're gonna go camping. We get the sleeping bags and set up a tent, get the whole thing. Okay, and just before it started getting dark, we'd eat every snack that we brought with us.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then all of a sudden everybody started looking around, and then you start hearing the noises from the frogs down by the pond, and
Oh
the
boy.
whippoorwill and everything like that. All right, I've had it. I'm done.
I'm
Pack
going
everything
home
up.
now.
I said I'd be home on a Saturday night just before Man from Uncle would come on. I'd sit down and watch Man from Uncle. I thought you were camping. Nah, tomorrow night we're gonna camp.
So Charlotte, what's the frog update? The toad update?
Oh, well, I'm not sure to be honest with you because I haven't seen the tadpoles. So I'm assuming they turned into frogs and left town.
Not that fast. They wouldn't.
They wouldn't. Maybe they
No.
all died. I don't know. Maybe they're all underneath the muck that I put in that bucket.
Tom, Tom, Charlotte sent me. I'm going to tell on you, Charlotte.
Go ahead.
He
Go ahead.
sent me a text.
It was
He
silly.
had frogs climbing all over each other and in our pond, and you had tadpoles everywhere. And of course, take pictures and take photos and post them on OnlyFrogs.
Flies are us.
Well,
Join me.
at first, I was thinking something was wrong with the pond. Why would there be frogs? There's never been frogs in my pond before. There were thousands of tadpoles.
They never had a place for an orgy before.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's but here's the thing. I've
One nine nine.
always had a fish in there. If a frog laid eggs in there, that fish was going to eat them. You know?
No, they won't.
No?
No, they won't.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, they don't want to get froggy.
They got a. I mean, nature gave it a bad taste or something, but the fish won't bother them.
Oh,
Because on a nice warm summer evening,
yeah.
especially after I've watered,
Hmm.
I've gone out and I've counted probably 50 of them.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you can hear them all over the whole neighborhood.
Oh,
My
that's
my mailbox is at the end of the street. I can go check the mail and hear them
and hear
frogs
the frogs.
or the toad, and come
My-
out the next morning and there'd just be strings of pearls everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
But the ones that make it, are good for the garden.
That's true. That's
Love
true.
it.
And
Mosquitoes.
it made me feel better that you said that means that, everything's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's a good indication of your water quality and
Yeah.
all that. So
Living out here now, 6 years going on 7. I have yet to see in my area where we are any flies, no mosquitoes. Okay, but they got these little teeny tiny little gnats or something
No
uh-huh.
seams.
that get through the screens.
Yep.
If I have
We
the
don't.
sliding door open,
Mhm.
not a lot of them, but I'll see some. That get through there.
Uh-huh.
I was telling Marie the other night. I said I haven't seen a mosquito or fly or anything like that out here. So she says, "Well, why every morning do you check inside your shoes?" I said, "They do have scorpions,
Yes. Yes.
but
Do those little gnats, do they bite?
no,
No.
no.
The ones down here bite.
Yeah,
And Poppy calls them flying teeth because they feel like a mosquito biting you. Actually, it hurts worse than a mosquito bite.
wow.
And I am highly allergic to them. I swell up like crazy.
That's one thing. That's one thing I'm not missing from Florida
I bet.
or from Jersey is the mosquitoes and the
Mhm.
greenheads. The greenheads. I mean, if you take a magnifying glass and look at the front of a greenhead fly,
Yeah.
right? They look like they're what do you call it? Big spiked teeth or something like that.
Uh-huh.
The way they get you.
Oh,
Nasty, nasty, nasty.
yeah. I wouldn't like that.
But I don't know.
Hmm. Oh, look at
Well, today I did a first for me. Now I've been cooking a long time,
Yeah.
and I was I was getting my from my one a month videos on that other channel,
Hmm.
and I had looking for squid. Okay, clean squid,
Yeah.
the tubes and the tentacles and stuff like that. I couldn't find them anywhere. So in the fish market, the guy says to me, "Have you ever used squid steaks or calamari steaks?"
Hmm.
So I thought maybe he thought maybe I had a lollipop on top of my head, telling me this. And I said, "Oh no, let me see him." So he goes in the back and he comes out with these. They look like oval discs. They're probably about a quarter of an inch thick, and like that. I should get the hazard. What is that? All pressed together, almost like imitation, seafood and stuff. He said, "No, it's the real thing." He said, "We get it from overseas." He said, "But it is from giant squid." So I said, he's digging himself deeper and deeper with me. Yeah, this one came in, ate the ship, and the other one, but I checked it out, and sure enough, they do have this. So I said, I got to get it. I'm not going to keep waiting because I'm going to get this video done. And today I actually cooked it, and I got to tell you what, I will never buy small squid again. I will go get this stuff here all the time.
Oh, really?
Man, what a fantastic cooks up better. I slice it real thin. You can cook it whole like that. That's what I call them steaks. You know what I mean? But it came out really well. I told Maria, I said, man, I'll never go back to the other one, way of doing it because it's a lot of work, you know. But it worked out good. It was fun. So see that old dog, and I still learned something.
Well, I watched as much time trials today as I could. The Indy 500 is a big deal for me. So I'll probably be watching that all day tomorrow. And I told Vicky, I said, next Sunday, find something to do because I have my butt parked on the sofa for
Yeah,
the day.
I had a good friend of the family's Wally Dellenbach, senior.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah, he was a good friend of us. He was actually what do you call it? I can't think of the name of it now. He drove. Him and Gordon Johncock were partners for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we used to watch it all the time. The Indy 500.
That's kind of like my Super Bowl.
Yeah. And then out here, Grumpus. Now out here, that's going into the third year. This year, going into they have the Grand Prix out here.
Got the form F1.
F1 out here, and I got to tell you what. I mean, it's a hassle to get
Yeah.
through downtown, but I mean, it's like overnight type of thing. I mean, the way it's set up and the way they pull it off, but to watch it on TV, to me, it looks like it's a video game for some odd reason. Just
Oh, yeah.
the way the lighting is, and
Uh-huh.
all the graphics that they have with the cars and stuff. So things have been changing a lot.
So did they finally get that organized enough to where it wasn't as disruptive as it was that first year?
Yeah, it was more people bitching and complaining about it. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
give you ample time to do what you got to do. And there again, it's not football or it's not baseball. Not that
Right.
many people are into it, so they'll bitch and complain about it. But I tell you what, they did a real good job, and they brought a lot of money into the county.
I bet it did.
Yeah, it really did. And just to see them speeds go through, through the streets and everything like
Yeah.
that.
Just the sounds and the smells of it.
Yeah, unbelievable. And watch it on TV, and I'm 8 miles away from it, and it's kind of
Well,
crazy.
I've seen more Indy 500 races live since I moved down here than I ever did up there where I live, and I just lived 15 miles from the track.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Violet's been watching some kind of racing, and all of the men have Italian names.
it's probably Formula One or Indy.
Yeah,
Could be Indy too.
you could be Indy. They got a lot of foreign names there.
Yeah, McCart.
She's very infatuated with one in particular.
Oh yeah,
Mom, look at this guy. Look at him. He's gorgeous. I said, well,
Well, I mean, they've had a lot of indie stuff on
He's
online
very,
to watch too, so
yeah,
maybe
he's
have
that's what
very,
they're watching.
he's very fast, Charlotte. So you got to watch.
that must he must be. He must
He's
be.
very, very fast.
What was it they said on Zorro? Remember the movie, the most recent version of Zorro? Catherine Zeta-Jones played in it, and she said he was very vigorous, father. That's my favorite line in the whole movie.
That used to be when I was a kid. That was my man right there. Zorro. I even Halloween. They got me a Halloween costume as
You were
Zorro.
Zorro for
I
Halloween.
had the sword, I had the mask on. I was
I
going to
love
my
Zorro.
was going to my neighbor's house, and I cut, instead of going around on the road, I cut through, and it was all stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Frickin' Zorro got hung up in stickers.
Oh no.
Couldn't walk, and I tried to cut him with my sword and broke the sword. And stickers won, and Zorro started crying.
No wonder you got a chip on your shoulder, Tom.
Yeah, see that? That rat
I
bastard.
understand perfectly now.
That rat bastard. Now look at him.
The nerve of them putting that bush there.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Hmm.
Too funny, too funny. Yeah, so I mean, I haven't really. I've been big with NASCAR. I always watched NASCAR for a long time,
I used to.
and we used to go to races all the time, and because of Wally Jr.,
Yeah, yeah.
he drove for a lot of that,
Yeah.
and but Wally had just passed not too long ago. The father, he was 90 something years old.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he had a big place up in Colorado, and he was a chief steward for CART. That's what he did.
Huh.
But yeah, he left a pretty good legacy. He really did. With the sportsmanship and everything else and like that.
I mean, I used to watch NASCAR religiously. I mean, that's 3 4 hours a day easy
Yeah,
on a Sunday, and I just really lost interest in it.
I
Yeah,
did.
I did too.
I mean, once Jimmy Johnson retired and Jeff Gordon retired, in the direction they were taking it, I just didn't care to watch it
Yeah.
anymore.
I
It seemed almost, and it still does to me. It's fallen almost like professional wrestling.
Yeah.
bingo. Reality TV show.
Kind of predict who's going to win, and if that guy ain't out front, they'll throw a yellow, and
Right.
just
Yeah,
too
I
much
was
drama.
I was into it, especially when Wally was with what's his name, 43.
Oh,
Petty.
43, Richard Petty.
Richard Petty. When he was
Yeah.
driving for Richard Petty, I cooked for them. I used to go and set up on. We get there on a Saturday, and I would cook.
Nice.
Well, they would come over. I met what's it, Dale Earnhardt. Sat and talked with him for a while. Both with Kenny Wallace and all them guys, and all nice guys, just regular guys.
I have
Yeah.
to know one thing. Did you cook for Harry Gant?
No, you know what? Harry Gant didn't make most of the races. He was kind of. I'm crazy that you brought that up because you'd see all these big tractor trailers pulling in.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you see Harry Gant come in with a regular single trailer with an old nasty car in it. It's, holy crap! Look at this.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, he was that regular old schooler that he was.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's back when they could just build their cars and bring them and run them.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I mean, he was so old school. It was just, but all the younger like with Wally and stuff like that. You hear them all, talk crap about one another, but they're all buddies because we would actually go in. He would get us in to where the driver stayed. So we would have our camper. We bought a camper together. It was a whole 5 or 6 of us bought a camper and pulled it into that. And all right, good night, Terry.
We'll see you, Terry. Have a good week.
Matter of fact, one year we were in Pennsylvania at Pocono, and where we were parked right now, another big bus came in, and it was the country singer. I can't think. Alan Jackson.
Oh.
It was right next to us. And then they had another guy they called Papa Smurf. Okay, he was with he was what was the other, not NASCAR, but it was the like the junior league of it.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, it's had several
Booster
names.
Class.
Bush
Uh,
League.
the Bush League. Well, this
Yeah.
guy was he had a big white beard with the purple shirt, and he come in with the purple bus, and he would open up, and he'd just hand out cases of beer, Bush beer. Okay, all right, come on over here, Papa Smurf. I cooked a whole bunch of stuff with him. That dude right there, he was the first first one to give me a a mason jar full of moonshine, and he told me, he said, that there is strawberry moonshine. And I looked at it and I said, they're green. He said, they were red
They
when I put
were
them in
red.
there. I said, I don't know, Papa Smurf, if you want this nut right here to be drinking your drunk right here, because it's going to get ugly. And we'd sit at night. It was cool. It really was. We'd have the hot pit passes. You get into the pit area and stuff like that. And there was no regulations. I mean, you can get right up there,
Yeah,
and you might get knocked over or something like that.
Yeah, I miss them days. They could just build a car in the garage and show up and race it. And
that's right.
now everything is so regulated. I mean, what's the point?
With the tech, all the tech stuff, and unbelievable.
I used to go to the Gator Nationals down in Florida.
Yeah,
This was drag racing, of course, but boy, that was a lot of fun. And you can get pit passes to that too, and get in
Hmm.
the pits and look at all the cars and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
I mean, we did where I lived in New Jersey. It was Windsor, it was West Windsor, and it was a dirt track.
Hmm.
And that's where a lot of these guys broke their teeth in there. That Wally
Yes.
Allenbach, he started there. There was a whole bunch of them. There was there was a guy in Jamesburg where I lived, and he always talked racing. Always talked racing. His name was Duke DeBreezy,
Hmm.
and he knew people, if you know what I mean. Okay, and he went by the name of Goggles Paisano. Okay, he was the first one to wear the face cloth with eyes and the goggles over it. So nobody knew who this guy was, and he was ruthless on the track. You know what I mean?
Oh
Cutting
my.
uh,
people off and everything like that. I say, you crazy ass goggles paisano. I mean, come on. Unbelievable, unbelievable. Yeah, they were good years. We used to go up to upstate New York to the road race up there. Pocono. Go down into what's the one in Talladega? We go to Talladega. Uh, I said Pocono, Delaware. One of them local tracks like that. Did
yeah,
it for
yeah,
years. We did it for years. I mean, we had a blast. You know.
yeah. I hope to take Vicky up to see an Indy race one of these days. She's never been to one.
Yeah.
I mean, you can watch the race better on TV, but something about being there,
Hmm.
you got to go through that experience just once.
What cracks me up is you only have a couple big races, and then you might have a few small races throughout the year. So the tracks are not really used.
No,
Not at all. And yeah, yeah,
yeah,
they were
because
good time.
Indy sits there empty most. I mean, most of the year. Well, I don't know. I haven't been up there for a while,
Yeah.
but now that Penske owns it, they must do some testing and tire tests and all that kind of stuff up there. He's
Yeah.
gonna keep that thing busy.
Oh yeah.
They would. I know years ago they were talking about the kids were talking about getting me a time at the track. You do a couple laps and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And my daughter says, "Nah, I don't think that." By the time he gets home from work, he does a time trial. Uh,
Oh goodness. Uh,
Unbelievable.
I always wanted to do something like that for Poppy. Maybe I will one of these days. He would
Did
get the biggest kick out of that.
the big thing was to get in the first couple times we went to see how intermingled it was once you were inside, how intermingled it was with him. I mean, you could be walking along and Bill Elliott would walk up behind, hey, how you doing?
Yeah.
Oh
You
Yeah.
wow.
know, going to the car. It was like nothing like, ooh, you know, or this and that. Dale Earnhardt, I mean, he'd walk up, you know, hey, what's up? You know, him and Wally Dellenbach Jr., they hunted together a lot. They did a lot of hunting in the off years together.
Oh, okay.
Wally's a big hunter. I mean, that's his thing. Bow
Hmm.
hunting, gunning, the whole bit, elk, or the big stuff like that. And they were good friends. They were really good friends. Yeah, he took it hard when Dale got killed. But just to sit and talk to them, they're just regular normal people. What's the two brothers, Jeff and
Oh, Jeff Burton.
The Burton brothers?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
do you know? Okay, that them guy, the one guy, Jeff, collected bicycles.
What a what a thing to collect.
Bicycles. Okay,
Odd
so
hobby.
Wally had brought him two old bicycles, and I mean, this guy could not stop thanking him. Okay,
Oh,
and the other brother who stopped racing, okay, he was a trip. He was just funny as hell to sit and talk to. And I mean, I'm telling you, it was really really crazy. Really really was unbelievable.
see now I'd have been fangirling the whole time.
Now, uh, Rusty Wallace and Kenny Wallace.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Kenny Wallace has got a podcast.
Oh
Oh, no
yeah,
He does
kidding.
he does YouTube videos almost daily, and usually when he's having his coffee. Now he is a riot,
yeah,
just a
he is.
riot
He's
to watch.
he's funny as hell.
He
Also,
really is.
Waltrip, him and his brother, okay,
Yeah.
they would come in. Walt Daryl had legs look like spinning piano legs, big fat friggin' legs, right? And they used to bust his chops all the time about how do you get that one leg up on that clutch,
Well,
you know? But that's the ball busting there, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? They just, but it was a good experience for me because that took me to the point where looking at celebrities and stuff like that. A lot of musicians I knew,
mhm.
through our place and stuff, were like pompous assholes. I mean, they were just, you know, better than everybody else. That these guys would. I mean,
Oh, these guys
They
are
were just
approachable.
regular people.
yeah, right down to earth. It really was.
Yeah.
But it changed. It really has changed. Like you said, Grumpus, it's too.
Yeah.
It's almost
I
like a
can watch
reality
them.
show now.
Hmm.
Kind of crazy.
It was just too much drama.
Huh.
I used to
And I
like
mean,
baseball.
I'm not the only one. I mean, you look at the stands. The stands are empty most of the
Oh yeah.
time.
Yeah.
The last race I went to was a Daytona uh, Firecracker 400.
Yeah.
It tells you how long ago that was.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I had a blast. And it was Harry Gant's last season, and I needed to go and see Harry Gant off to retirement.
Yeah.
And
He drove the Bandit car for a long time. He had a couple
yeah,
couple
he's a
different.
Skull Bandit car.
Yeah.
I've got a skate 115 or something, 115th scale model of it or something like
Hmm.
that.
I got a collector car that Wally gave me, match, like a Matchbox thing.
Mm-hmm.
Still in the pack. When he drove for, it was a bank. I can't, First Union. Yeah, it was First Union. I think it was the 43 car. I think it was. Whatever
Oh,
whatever
no
it was.
kidding.
That's like that. When he when he drove for Petty. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Richard Petty slept a lot. Okay, if you got there on Saturday, he would be up all night and then sleep most of the day, and then
Hmm.
that in that routine. So we're up on his bus, and he was in the other room. Everybody going shh shh. Richard's sleeping in the back. Richard's sleeping in the back. We're sitting in there talking and looking around. Beautiful bus, right? He comes out of the back bar and went, "Hey y'all," went to the bathroom,
Hey,
back
y'all.
out, close the door, back in again. So they wanted Italian sausage and peppers. I said, okay, can do. Okay. So we had other people coming from all around getting the sausage and peppers with the rolls and everything else like that. So by the time the pit crew got there, okay, can't remember the name, the crew chief. He was a young guy, Loomis, I can't remember his first name, but his last name was Loomis. And he come up, and what we would do, my guy that was working with me, he was cutting up hot dogs. Okay, we're putting them into the pot, cooking them, getting them good and hot, because we just flat out ran out of sausage.
Out of sausage.
It's Loomis. He come up and he grabbed the roll and he scooped it up on there, and he come over and he tapped me on the back. He said, "Damn, man," he said, "this is some of the best Italian sausage I've ever had."
Oh my goodness.
Where'd you get them from? I said, "Ballpark makes them."
Oh jeez.
We always had a good time. Always did.
That sounds really fun.
Yeah. But I was into it for a long time, and then I just lost my heart with it.
Yeah, I've always been into motorsports, even I mean, as far back as I can remember. But anymore, I just watch the Indy. I might watch the Daytona 500,
Yeah.
but I find myself more and more just, I wait till the next day and go to YouTube. You can watch the whole
Oh
race in 15 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Same thing with football and baseball. They're the same thing.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's kind of the way I feel about basketball. Just give each team 100 points and let them play for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
Right.
I always said, okay, um, these guys are getting big money. They're 7'7". Okay, they reach up their hand, they can touch the top of the backboard. So I said, you know what? I'm sick of watching this with the money they're getting. Okay,
Yeah,
so make the basketball court 100 yards. Okay, raise the basket 20 feet. Okay,
bring
and
them down to size.
let's go. Let's
Yeah.
play. Okay, I'll give you $50 a game. All right, see if you can score maybe 10 points. All right, maybe you'll get a $25 bonus. That's what you're worth. You know what I mean? It's for it.
Well, I
Right.
got in a little heated discussion with the guy the other night at my watering hole. With subject come up with football. I said, "Well, I don't really watch it. That's too many millionaires in one place misbehaving at the same time."
Right.
I said, and we got to talking. And I told him, I said, if I was commissioner, only the winning team would get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Make them earn it every game. I tell you what, that'd be a football game to watch.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
it
better
would.
earn it.
Yes, it would.
So where I live, okay, and I'm in the middle between an area that's called Anthem.
Hmm.
That's where most of the Raiders live, and that's where most of the big entertainers and
Uh,
stuff live. They're up on the hill. So between Anthem and they got the training center on St. Rose, okay, uh, where they go in, for the Raiders. Now they're talking about bringing they already broke ground for the A's to come here to build another stadium. They do have the Golden Knights, which is, I mean, I could probably throw a rock and hit the, where they play hockey.
Hmm.
Them guys are good. I mean, to me, they're down to earth the whole bit. Younger, older guys is a pretty good mix,
yeah.
and right now they're doing well. So anyway, so when I go to get my grandson, it's like 4 miles away. When I go to get him and bring him to work, so I'm in between Anthem and this the training center for the Raiders. You see more Bentleys, more Rolls Royce, more Corvettes, okay? All these high end cars in one area, okay, than anywhere else in Vegas,
Yeah.
okay? And they're speeding up down the road like you don't mean nothing to them. Get out of my way, type of
Hmm.
stuff. You know what I mean? There is more sports people out here that are racing, speeding, whatever they're doing,
Yeah.
hitting and killing people out here, then
Oh
you can shake
no.
then you can shake a stick at. Yeah. So they're starting to the county is starting to break it down
Crack
a little
down
bit.
on it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They need to crack down on it.
checking them out. And you're talking guys who are 24, 25, 26 years old, okay, with all that money. They have
Yeah.
no concept of what's going on.
And they have no idea how to manage it.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or
Unbelievable.
themselves, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so it's kind of
Yes.
crazy. Really is kind of crazy.
We had a terrible thing happen in my area this week. Um, there was a bad accident over in the next county, and come to find out it was three teenagers, 16, 17, and 18, crossed the center line and overcorrected and ended up crashing the vehicle and dying, all three of them.
Yeah, that's nuts.
And
Digits, what's up, brother?
I I don't let my kids, my teenagers, ride in cars with other teenagers. I've never done it. It's a rule. You can't go unless you can drive yourself,
Yeah.
or we can drive you. And in fact, we even drove. We chauffeured Murphy and his prom date to the prom and to their dinner and everywhere else. We didn't go to those places with them,
Yeah.
but we dropped them off. Said, "Call us when you're ready to come home," or whatever. And anyhow, I took that. It was a news story on a video, and I took it out to my son. He was helping Wesley replace a head gasket on the Mitsubishi, and I said, "I want you to watch this." And he watched it, and I said, "This is why I don't let you ride in cars with other teenagers. You're not experienced, and this is a common mistake, and people die from it every day. Most of them are under 25 years old."
Yep. Yeah.
You know?
Charlotte, you know what's out here? What they do out here? They have these electric scooters
Mm-hmm.
that these kids. There's a elementary school down the road from me. That when you go to pull out my gate, it sort of has a blind spot until you really edge out into the path of the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Okay? And these kids come flying down with these scooters. I mean, they clip
Uh,
along 25, 30 miles an hour. Okay? Whoa, what are you doing? I mean, and most of here's the thing I don't get. Okay? Call me crazy. All right? Today was 91 degrees. All right? And I seen a kid,
mm-hmm.
dressed in black and a hood up on his head.
I don't understand the hoodies and the sweatshirts in August.
Yeah, look. But the other thing out here is I don't know if by you, all these electric bikes.
Yeah.
There's not a bicycle no more. Nobody pedals no more.
I
And
have
there's
an electric tricycle,
no, I get that. I understand that. But I mean, these kids. I mean,
but I'm an old lady.
they're zooming through, through traffic and stuff like that.
See,
Oh,
I don't think that these kids ought to be allowed to drive those electric vehicles. No kind of a not. We have kids around here on golf carts driving all over the place like they own the streets. And first of all, golf carts are not legal in this town unless you live across the tracks on the beachfront.
all right.
If you live in that area, you can have a golf cart. But up here across the highway, you can't.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
but they do it anyway. And the parents just give their kids the keys to the golf carts and say, "Have a good time."
I said when I was a kid, boy, I loved to have an electric bike. Not
Oh
on,
yeah.
I would
But
have
hey,
too.
yeah. Digits, you're 100% right. Yep. Stick shift. No one should be able to drive unless you don't know how to drive a stick.
I think that's they ought to teach that in driver's ed.
Yeah. Exactly.
We don't have driver's ed here. State of
I mean,
Mississippi is too poor to offer driver's ed. Shoot, they can barely offer math.
Yeah. It's I don't know. There again, I still feel like that. Get off my lawn. But
Hmm.
common sense. You just
Well,
it's
number one,
gone.
parents are too permissive. Period.
I'm at the point in my life now where get out of my way. Why are you doing? It's 55 miles an hour. Why are you doing 35 and on your phone? You know what I'm saying? Get into the other lane. Get away from everybody if you're going to do that, or park it. Plain and simple.
Right.
But and then my daughter, oh, Pop, stop it. Stop it. No, I can't stop it. God dang it. You know what I mean? This guy, it's 55 miles an hour.
Right.
My dad always said, look at this son of a SOS. He should be getting a ticket for mopery. you know?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, my patience and tolerance isn't what it used to be.
Yeah, and it's getting closer and closer to the point where, you know what? I'll be honest with you. If I didn't have to pick my grandson up, take him back and forth to work, I wouldn't. My car, since I've been doing that, my car went from 16,000 miles to 22,000 miles.
Oh wow.
Okay. Next week or the week after, he's supposed to be getting his ride squared away. Let's put it that way.
Good.
But I mean, I don't need to be out there. You know, I said
No.
my blood pressure,
Mm,
for crying out loud, is through the roof, and it's getting worse and worse because we're getting a big influx out here from California.
yeah.
You know, and they're just, if anybody in here is from California, don't take this the wrong way, but you're a freaking airhead. Okay.
Good God, Tom.
I mean, just like la 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 la. You know,
Shoot,
even in
come
the
off.
supermarket, I have no patience in the supermarket.
You know what? That's funny because I used to watch a lady on YouTube who was a Californian Fruit Loop. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have
I
said
love it. I knew I'd get her going. I knew it. I knew it. I knew it.
that. Well, there's other Fruit Loops in the country. It's just this one was extra special fruity. Okay. Um, and she's one of these crunchy, all natural, at peace with the universe kind of people. And I'm like,
Get back in the van.
in the world?
Yeah, take your loofah and yourself and get out of here.
I'm
I mean, if you
surprised.
go to Austin, now, it's like you'll think you've gone to California.
And I had to quit watching her because she was just infuriating. Just absolutely infuriating.
How,
And
how
look,
many how many subs did she have?
I don't remember, but it was more than I had. So,
That's the point right there. That's what I'm getting at. Some
yeah.
people do stuff to infuriate people to get them going.
Yeah.
I told my grandson yesterday. Okay, now a subject came up that this guy was talking about, and I bit hook, line, and sinker,
Uh-oh.
and I went off.
Uh-oh.
And I couldn't type fast enough, okay, to get this out. I said, I wish it was audio for this, and I'm going out of my mind,
Good
Oh.
thing
okay.
you had a wire.
I'm like this, typing, okay, and the answer was sorry, dude, or something to that effect that he said back to me. I read people pretty good sometimes, and I went, you ass. You bit
Mm-mm.
this bait, hook, line, and sinker, and he got you. Got you. I was fired up. Maria's going, what is wrong with you? Okay?
Mm.
And then I had to step out of the circle and say, whoa, man. So I got to be careful. I really do.
Yeah, don't let people do you that way. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
It
But I
really.
bit. I bit the whole thing. And it just,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
damn, it got me. Got me
My
good.
dad does that once in a while. He'll get on Facebook and I'll see something that he's clapped back at somebody, and I'm like, "Oh, Dad, don't."
That's why. That's why I'm not on Facebook. I
He'll
have
call
no
me and
business
tell
on
me about
Facebook.
it, and I'm like, "I saw it, Dad. I saw it."
My grandson said to me, he said, Pop, he said, there's one thing about going off about it and feeling that way and speaking your mind. He
Uh-huh.
says, but there's another aspect of it that you recognized it. That
Yeah,
you got sucked into this guy's jollies.
yeah. Because
So
basically, he was just trolling you.
yeah. Well, he was trolling and I bet like an idiot.
Yeah.
Nobody else did, but I
Well,
said,
it
I
happens.
I even was typing, where do you live?
Oh gosh.
San Juan, I'm on my way.
Oh my gosh.
Anyway, it's sad. It really is. To get this to this age, okay, make it. I mean, I should have been dead 100 times, you know.
Right.
But to make it
Especially
this
with
far,
your temper.
yeah. I mean, and it's. I don't know if it's getting worse or getting better. Marie said the other day something happened. She said, "Wow, I was waiting for a volcano." She said, "You let it roll off your back." I said, "I'm picking and choosing my tension."
There you go.
Well, that's the thing. You got to learn how to pick your battles.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Of course, now Poppy can set me off like a firecracker. There ain't no picking battles. He chooses them. But all he has to do is say one stupid thing, and I'm like, boom, through the roof. Really? Really? Are you that dumb? Gosh.
I like, even in the supermarket. I mean, I know my way around two or three of these stores out here, where I
Hmm.
can zoom in and out of people, get what I need to go, get online, and get the hell out. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then you got the ones who leave the cart in the middle of the aisle as
Hmm.
they're standing back and looking at something. They see you coming,
Oh, yeah.
okay, and they just keep standing there, and I'm
Or they
standing
want
there
to
waiting.
stop and have a family reunion in the middle of the aisles.
I looked at some old dude the other day. I said, "You know what? I believe I could beat your ass." And he just, yeah, I swear to God, I did. Oh, excuse me. He went like that and moved it out of the way. And off I went through. Come on.
No, have some common courtesy.
So Marie says to me, I think we need to, maybe we make the list and I'll run in and you wait in the car and I'll get this stuff. Uh,
Well, like I told my son today, you need to learn to do these things yourself. Let me tell you what he did. 20 minutes before I knew you were coming on the internet, right?
Okay.
YouTube. Boy comes in and says, "Hey, mom." I ignored him because I'm tired of going, "What?" And then he forgets what he's going to say, right? It happens daily. So
hmm
I ignored him a little bit and I'm just waiting for him to continue talking because I knew he wanted something. And he goes, uh, Wesley says he's talking to you. I said, I heard him. And he goes, Well, you didn't say what? I said, I'm not going to. Now continue talking. And he says, Would you make these for me? And he holds up some muffins. And I looked at him. I looked at Poppy. I said, You're almost 17. Can't you make them yourself? The instructions are really easy. It's on the back of the package.
Yeah.
So he made them himself. I made him do it. I feel so relieved.
Well, I remember my grandsons, okay, they would come out, at my daughter's house, they would go out into the kitchen, make
Hmm.
a sandwich, whatever they were doing, and
Yeah.
come and leave. And then half hour later, come back down again,
Make another sandwich.
make something else on another plate and cup and stuff,
Oh
and,
no.
and then go back up again. So I turn around. We were actually living there before I got this place,
Hmm.
and until we got this here. And I went into the cupboard to get a cup. I wanted some ice water. Opened up the cupboard,
No
and
cup.
wasn't a cup. No cups. Looked in the dishwasher. The dishwasher was empty. Okay, and I called one. I called one of them on the phone.
Yeah.
You got cups up there? Hey, Pop, and he's laughing. Huh? Bring the friggin' cups down. Click. And they both come down with, I mean, almost like a tray full of cups, plates, spoons, the
Did you
whole
make
thing.
him load the dishwasher too?
Yeah, I said,
Good.
what in the hell possesses you to leave that stuff upstairs? You know? Oh, I forgot. I see you. Maybe if I pull,
Forgot.
maybe if I pull the plug on your computer or your video game thing, and you know,
You know, from experience here, when Murphy got in trouble back in November at school, I took his PlayStation away from him and I never really gave it back.
mm,
And it's amazing how many IQ points they get when you take away their games.
mm-hmm,
It's really scary.
yeah,
But
making apple fritters. Well, anyway. And then we go back in time, and I think about some of the crap that I did.
oh yeah,
You wonder where they got it from.
Yeah, I was, I was, I was always not really in a lot of trouble, but I would be the
You were
first
just
suspect.
mouthy, Tom. Admit it.
I would just be the first suspect that they would call in. But I had the keys to the storage room. Okay,
Hmm.
and they figured let me keep him in charge of something, and he won't be in so much trouble. So
Hmm.
I would go in. I had a little like an inbox in the principal's office. I'd go in and look and see who teacher needed a couple reams of paper or blah blah blah, whatever it was. Well, nosing around, it was up in the loft. You had to climb up a ladder and go. Well, I noticed in the back where all the papers and stuff were, if you walked across the beams, you could look down into the gymnasium. Okay, and on one side of it was the girls' locker room. Ho, 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 ho.
Convenient.
Looky here. Okay,
Jackpot.
and then coming back across, walking on the beams, coming back. I found the box. Looking through a bunch of different boxes, I found brand new report cards.
Sure.
Here we go.
That's a
Five dollars,
money-making enterprise, wasn't it?
$5 a piece. My mother was expecting me to be named valedictorian
Oh.
from my report cards. I forged her name on my other one that had more red F's on it than you could shake a stick at, but the one she seen had all the A's on it across, A's and B's, and
Oh.
better get that C minus up. Okay, mom, no problem. Woo-hoo. Yeah, until I got caught with that scheme.
You got caught?
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
In fact, they just had my 50th. I think it was 50th um,
Reunion.
class class reunion, and they sent me an invitation. Are you gonna? Will you be making it? I said, no, I'm afraid to go back. And the girl says, why? I said, I still have detention. I mean, what are you talking about?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
You ought to go. You'd have a good time.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
you should.
Half of them are dead.
Well, that's true.
And the ones in my class are dropping like flies lately.
I mean,
My 55 should be coming up next year.
Ooh, fun.
wow.
I,
Um,
I I enjoy going back and seeing, you know, all the cool kids, the cliques that wouldn't talk to you in high
yeah.
school,
Bald, no teeth.
all hot bellied
Yeah.
women about 300 pounds, been drugged down with a mess of kids, and the cheerleaders, the cheerleaders.
Yeah, yeah. The one, yeah, the one.
I
One,
always
one year,
I always leave feeling so much better about myself.
one year I did go. I went and just before me and Marie got together, but I went by myself and looked around and went, "Phew, man!" A couple of ones that were in the yearbook that I
Yeah.
dated, and looked at it again and went, "Holy crap!"
Damn, these people got old.
Yeah, you were playing. You thought you were playing poker, but you were playing bingo. Man, you got ugly.
Oh gosh. Facebook is one place. A lot of my high school buddies that graduated with me are on Facebook. So they're all friending me on Facebook, and I'm looking at the pictures, going,
Huh?
"Do I know you?" A few of them I recognize, but one lady, I was really surprised at who she was because she didn't look a thing like she used to look. And I showed it to Poppy and I said, "Poppy, do I look that old?"
Sound like Vicky.
He said, "No." I said, "Good answer."
Yeah, yeah.
Good answer.
Unbelievable.
Because I know I probably do, but
Well, the ones that I've gone to, they always had pretty big turnouts.
did they?
Well, I guess I went to school with a bunch of party animals. I just didn't know it.
Well, I went to one class reunion. It was my 20th, and I thought it would be a good idea. Bad idea.
Hmm.
Me and Poppy were the only sober people in the entire room.
Yeah, but that's your fault.
Yeah.
Well, yes, it is. I just I don't like to drink around other folks. Like in public. I just really don't like to do that. But so yeah, we left early and that was the end of that. I said I won't go back to another one. I don't need to. And
last,
I don't.
last, like the last one I went to, I don't know what I don't know if it was like the 20 year, maybe 15 year, 20 or whatever it was.
Mhm.
I went back to, and it was still people were still young enough and everything else like that, but just to see the way different people turned out, what you would think,
Mhm.
you know,
Mhm.
the brainiacs and stuff like that. Next thing you know, they're one became a librarian. I mean, nothing against librarians, but I mean,
Right.
that's not my one thing that pops up in my mind to go visit as a library.
Right.
Maybe the corner gin mill I'd go to, but
Oh,
Yeah,
geez.
got all these gals or daddies put them 4 years of college. They got out and married a gas station attendant.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
Oh,
mean, and everybody, basically everybody that I went to school with, other than a couple that did go to college. I mean, I had a shot to go and the whole bit, but that was my determination. I'm not going to go. Most of them went to college and came back with liberal arts degrees.
mhm.
What do you do with that? What do
Nothing.
you do with that? What the hell do you do with that? You know what I mean? So to me, it was just another waste of time for them to go. And when I graduated high school, Vietnam was still going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
I was, I went from 1F to A1.
I was on A1. I was waiting for the call anytime.
Yeah, and then Nixon, then he started dropping it back a little bit and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, I took my. They even sent a bunch of us that were not going to college. 4 or 5 of my friends signed up to go, wanted to get it over with.
Yeah.
Not me, that's not. No, I'm not doing that. I'll take my chance, and if I have to, then I'll go.
Yeah.
Simple as that. But I went down to the office to wanted you to take the test anyway. Go
Mhm.
down and see what happens, the whole bit. So I went through the test, just checked everything off. Bup, 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 turn the page. Bup, 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 bup. I have 3 or 4 pages of questions, and I just kept going down, kept going down. Got it all done. Everybody's still like really into it, and I went up, handed it to the sergeant that was there, and he said, "Have a seat." I sat in front of him, and they have a template going over, and he went, Hey, Mr. Garber, you're officer material. I said, you're drunk. You are drunk. Sign here, sir. Sign. I ain't signing shit. I
That's
ain't
right.
signing. I ain't signing nothing.
Uh-uh.
So the alternative was, once everything went through, I was the baby of the family. So what they did was they redid me again because my 4 brothers, okay, um, they were married with kids, so they couldn't go.
Right.
So they considered me a hardship as
Um,
as the baby of the family to go, and because the other ones didn't go. So
huh.
and then they did away with it. So I was just like I was, whew, one of them
Yeah.
deals.
Just dodged it because I was waiting for the. I didn't even want to check the mail most of the time because I was waiting for that letter to show up.
Yeah, and I said, in hindsight, I turned around and said, well, you know what? It probably would have done me good because I would have been peeling potatoes the whole time. We're in the bread, whatever. I said, and here I am cooking, but
Well, in hindsight, I wished I'd have went ahead and joined the Air Force
Yeah.
because I
Grumpet,
I could have retired at 35.
I was this close for the Coast Guard.
Mm.
Yep.
Okay, that's what this lieutenant came to my house. He says, I know what you're going through. He says, you sign up here, you ain't going overseas. You'll be on the coast here, and if you do go overseas, you'll be on a boat away from all the problems. He said,
Mhm.
I'm telling you exactly what's going on. I mean, I was pacing the floor the whole bit. I was that close, okay? And I think it was a week or two later is when they turned around and said they're doing away with the drift.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
I said, whew. But I mean, that I would have liked, I would have enjoyed going into the Coast Guard. I mean,
Yeah. Well, in a lot of ways, I feel like I missed something.
yeah, 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 you're
I
right.
missed a good experience, I think.
Poppy would tell you, yes, you probably did.
Because I know me. I would have gone
And
in and
Missy.
stayed. I would have retired.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have a good friend of mine from high school from that same era, from that same time. Okay, he's retired now, full bird colonel.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, yeah, but there again,
I mean, I was only
young.
17 when I graduated,
Wow.
so I could have enlisted that summer,
My dad was like,
retired early enough to have a whole second career if I wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
my dad, World War II. He wanted to go. One they wouldn't take him. They wouldn't take him because he kids, married kid. He was
Yeah.
young, married kids, the whole bit. And they ain't gonna take you.
I mean, my dad was in Korea for 2 years.
Mm.
Right. But when I was telling him that when we were talking about going into the Coast Guard and stuff, he was like, I don't know. That's almost like you're chickening out going with the Coast Guard. Chick, what are you talking about?
No, I don't see it that way.
I don't
What,
see it that way either.
what are you talking about? And then when I did talk to him about going to college, he laughed at me. He
Oh,
said, "You better go get a job and get your own college ass money."
College was never pushed at my house.
Yeah, no, 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 no. He said, "No, no, no, no."
I don't think it was in that generation.
I mean,
And
I grew up. You graduated and you got your
You got
job
a
that
job.
summer and
yeah,
never
Yeah.
looked back.
he said, "You need to go get experience. Whatever you're going to do, you need to go." He said, "I'm suggesting that you go get a job cooking." He said, "Because you're good at it, and that's what you should be doing." I said, "What about culinary school?" Again, he said, "Not in college. Go get experience first. I'm not going to pay for something and then you walk away from it and pump gas for the rest of your life or
Mhm.
work on a car." Jesus Christ! I mean, and then later on, I understood exactly where he was coming from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I said most of the people that I knew that went to college, liberal arts.
Mhm.
What do you do with that? I mean,
Well, I mean, my friends that went to college, they got out. I just had a 4 year jump on them in the
work. Yeah,
job market, the work market,
yeah,
Mhm.
because they got out of college doing the same stuff I was doing.
yeah. And then him and my older brother were building houses, so I sort of went in with that. You know, swing a hammer, and I said, "This ain't for me." You know, and then but I did it for a while in between with stuff, but you can't be a carpenter and be afraid of heights.
No.
Not really,
I mean, so I mean,
unless you run a cabinet shop.
especially when they tell you get a 2 story, get up there, and
Yeah.
on a 4 by 12, 4 and 12 roof.
Not me.
And no, ain't doing it. So, I don't know.
I'm just hoping Murphy's not claustrophobic. We'll find out tomorrow.
Uh
He has an MRI tomorrow.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right.
If he's claustrophobic, he won't be there long. But we don't know. So
Well,
we'll
they
see.
don't slide you in that tube for very long.
Yeah, the last time I had one done was 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
Oh, I guess I've been lucky then.
Yeah.
Um, when I have mine done, I have to get one ever so often on my head because of my double vision and all that stuff. And it takes them about 30, 45 minutes. They have to sedate me though because I'll fight them.
Hmm.
Um,
Then I can't get up.
two is they put my head in this cage,
Oh,
like a plastic catcher's mitt looking thing, but it
Okay.
goes all the way over my head. I'm getting a little anxious just talking about it, so let's not. Um, I can't handle it. I just can't.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It's silly. Because I
Yeah,
know,
'cause it didn't bother me when they did it, but
huh?
it didn't bother me when I had mine done.
I wish it
But
hadn't.
I wasn't sitting there that length of time either. I mean, I just kind of they kind of run me into full length, and then I came right back out.
Oh, oh no. I'm in there and it's clinking and clunking and sounds like something's going to land on me. And
So at the doctor's office the other day, he asked me. Now it's all this wellness stuff. You know, you're at the age now. We got to make sure all the wellness there. So
hmm
they give you paper with a circle on it and a dot in the middle, and they want you to draw the clock. I looked at him. I said, "Really?" I said, "I have a digital watch. Why would I need to do that?"
oh, God.
And then they just left. So I did the numbers. I now give me 10 after 11. Then, okay, you feel like an idiot. Okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
do that, and you look at this young kid, they could care less about how I draw a clock. All
Right.
right. And then the doctor comes in, and he sits down, he starts talking. Have you ever smoked? I said, like a chimney. He says, when have you quit? I said, 17 years ago. He said, how many cigarettes did you smoke? I said, 5 packs a day. I said, it's almost like a Bob Seger song. That's exactly what I smoked. And he said, wow. And they just like was like stunned.
yeah.
I said, but
hmm
that was 17 years ago. He said, you know, you qualify for a lung cancer test.
hmm
I said, I see where you're going with this, Doc. Okay, you want to go up my butt, check inside there. Now you want to go down the other way
Did
into
you
my
just check
lungs.
your lungs while he's up there?
Yeah. I told him, I said, I got this itch. You know what I mean? Right around over here. Let me see if you can take care of that.
Oh, my
But
goodness.
that's the new. I feel the new way they're going now with the medical. Before it was type 2 diabetes, CPAP. You know, where people
Yeah.
can't breathe at night, and it's trends that they go through. Okay,
Hmm
so he says I would urge you to go and have the lungs checked. I said okay. I said, did they have to? Is it invasive? He said no. They'll do a scan. You know,
Yeah.
okay. I
Yeah.
said that I can do. Ain't nobody going to my butt. Plain and simple. Let's get that completely. And Marie's sitting there. Marie's like fidgeting, you know. And I'm telling him square business. No, I'm sorry, pal. Exit only. That's about it. He said, but it's preventative. I said, the last time I had that done, I was sick for almost a month
Oh,
from it. Okay? Ain't happening. If you got another way of doing it, you know, with all this technology and stuff with pictures, this and that, knock yourself out. But no more invasive stuff. I don't want no more invasive.
well, you know, they could do a PET scan. You'd light up like a Christmas tree wherever there was cancer.
Exactly.
So I
But
don't know why they don't just do that instead of all this other crap that they put you through.
because I'm telling you why, because insurance don't pay for it.
Right.
So I
Yeah,
said,
in order
no.
to get a PET scan, you have to have a history of cancer.
I said that would be a great YouTube channel. Up my butt.
Oh, good God.
Gerbil with the GoPro.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God, y'all. Gross.
So strap it to his head.
Little goggles.
Holy crap.
Stop. The goggles got me.
Little umbrella.
Poppy said that
Gee.
a really good video, like I would make a lot of views on YouTube if I did naked diamond painting.
If you did what?
That's what he said. I said, Wesley, you know you can't do that on YouTube. He says, well, nobody has to know you got your clothes on. All you show them is your hands anyway. Just title it naked diamond painting.
I'm trying to find through AI, put my face on a just from here up on a woman's body with the breast sticking out, so I get more views. Hi,
Oh my goodness.
unbelievable, too
I
funny.
told him, I said, I am not doing that. I'm a granny. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, and then they also want me to go back to the cardiologist, like I said before, and
Yeah,
do another heart cath. No, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not
I
doing it.
wouldn't do that.
I see you're looking for something.
I
Yeah, if
would
you're
do
not
a
having,
stress test, but I wouldn't do a heart cath.
no, not if you're not having
If
symptoms.
you're not having
Right.
symptoms, I wouldn't. Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. My
I was,
problem with my problem is not the cholesterol and stuff. I refuse to
Reciprocate.
succumb to high cholesterol problems because it doesn't mean anything,
Right.
especially when your body produces it. What I do have a problem with is triglycerides. Okay, and that is
Yes,
a
me too.
problem.
Me too.
That's a problem. That can be dangerous.
Mhm.
So I sort of agreed to him to go on a low dose um, statin again.
Mhm.
Okay, just to see if that works to bring him down a little bit. So that
Are they still high and you're on keto?
yeah, because Charlotte, my triglycerides back when I lived in Florida was 1,680.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, we couldn't get them down, but once I started keto, I got the lowest I got them was down to 220. Okay, and
Oh wow.
they decided that being that I was on keto and stuff that it's hereditary. It's just there's no other way around it.
Right. Right.
Okay,
That makes sense.
so he said, let's just try again. He's because the last time he went, you had him was 400. We got to get him back down again. Blah 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 blah. So I agreed to that. I got to give him some. I just can't go to a doctor and just be obstinate about the whole thing all the time. So I said, all right, I agreed to that. And then I'm having trouble sleeping too. So he gave me something to help sleep at night, at
Mhm.
least calm me down a little bit. And so that seems to be working. I've been taking the pills, but here's the difference
Yeah.
that I like about this guy. Not every 3 months go back. He wants to see me next month.
Oh,
See if
okay.
there's any difference, okay? And
Right.
then he said, we'll take it from there. He said, I understand what you're doing. He's a DO. So I understand what you're doing, the whole bit. It makes sense, everything like that. So
Mhm.
that's what I like about
Good.
it. But I said,
Well, getting your sugar under control now too.
sugar, it runs there again, because of the triglycerides, that runs a little high.
Mm. Mhm. Mhm.
So, you know, but even the way I said to him, I probably eat more fat, more butter, and oil than anybody, you know,
Yeah.
that I know. I said, so there it is. If my triglycerides don't come down, my blood sugar's not going to come down. So
Right.
it's not so much because of the carbohydrates, it's because I'm insulin resistant.
I see.
So
Because I know when I did keto, my triglycerides dropped by 100 points,
yeah, yeah.
and and they were high, but not like you're high.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, I don't know, maybe 300 or something.
Mm-hmm.
And the doctor thought I was a walking heart attack at the time. I actually was, just
Yeah.
didn't know it for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, when I went on the low carb diet, it really reduced my triglycerides the most.
Yeah, and that's the thing to look for because we produce cholesterol.
Hmm.
I mean, what we eat as far as any kind of anything that contains cholesterol, it's only
Hmm.
like a low percentage that it affects us. It's what our body makes, what our brain makes, and what our liver makes.
Right.
So as a type 2 diabetic, all of a sudden you go into pancreatitis
Oh yeah.
because of the triglycerides.
Hmm.
Not because of your cholesterol and stuff. That's where you make your cholesterol and stuff.
Right.
But when I started talking to this guy, then he all of a sudden made the U-turn with a lot of different stuff. You know,
Well, I'm glad that he's willing to talk to you about all of it and respects where you're coming from with the diet issue, you know.
that's what I like about him. I said, hey, if you can prove to me that high cholesterol causes me to have a heart attack, I'll listen to you. I said, but as of right now, there's no proof of that. They're finding out that that's untrue.
I would guess that the high triglycerides would be more of a culprit
That's
than the
where it's at.
cholesterol.
That's where it's at, and that's exactly why I said I agreed to go back on that one pill again.
Right.
I'm not afraid to admit it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because I have been cheating here and there.
Yeah.
A little bit of pasta, have some breads and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So the problem is having the breads and some pasta, and then having the fat and the olive oil and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Then that two doesn't mix.
Right.
Okay, so the
Right.
high fats, and then all of a sudden, with the high carbohydrates, and then you're going to turn around and tell me that, well, you know what, it's the cholesterol. Well, no, it's the carbohydrates, because there's no other
Mhm.
way. There's no other way for it to come down.
Right.
So
Right.
he's trying to tell me that well, you might have symptoms of blockage and stuff like that. No, I don't. You know what I
You
mean?
would know it if you did, wouldn't he, Grumpus?
Yeah, I told him you're fishing is what you're doing.
Yeah, they all are.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I said, come on, you're trying to give me. I said I've been through this already. You know,
Mhm. Mhm. And did you tell him that they gave you a stint at only like 20% blocked? Or
that's what I told him. Yeah, and he like looked away. I said, look it up, look it up. I said that is so illegal. Okay, it's
yeah.
got to be 65% or more for that to be justified for
Mhm.
preventive reasons. Okay, I said, he
Mhm.
just put it there because he was up there, and then the problem was when they pulled the try to get the sheath out of me in my leg, I
Yeah.
wouldn't stop bleeding.
Oh.
Okay, I had this big gorilla standing there with his hand down by my junk. My wife's sitting in a
Oh,
chair, and he's pressing on the artery to stop it.
excuse me. I'm
So
sorry.
so how you doing? We struck up a conversation. You
Right.
know,
You
But he's
didn't
this
kiss me yet.
yeah this idiot standing holding me. I mean, what the frig? I said I don't need to go through this crap again because I'm you know what's the guy's name that everything goes wrong with?
Murphy.
Murphy. I'm Murphy's Law. That's me. If it's going to happen, here you go. The one out of five that gets in trouble. Well, I'm the one
I'm
out of
one.
five.
See, Wesley's that guy too. If there's going to be a side effect to any medication, he's going to get it. If there's a weird disease out there, like just something weird, odd ailments, he's going to get it.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever heard of it before.
Charlotte, when I blew my knee out the first time, okay, they
Yeah,
carried my ass off the stage. Okay, they actually had me on a hand truck to take me out of the casino.
that's
I couldn't
awesome.
put me into the car and I drive home. Okay, the next day I told Maria I can't take this no more, so I go to the ER.
Yeah.
Okay, you want to see that fiasco? Here's
Uh,
this little woman pushing this big fat dude in a
oh.
walker but had a seat. Okay,
Mhm.
I go in. They put me on oxycontin. Okay,
Mhm.
for the pain. I
Right.
go home. I go home with 30 tablets. The pain was so bad. Okay, that I said, you know what? I'm not going to take these. I'll cut them in half. All right.
Yeah.
The pain went away, but I didn't know that I was allergic to it.
Oh no.
Oh,
Okay, and I start scratching
Oh no.
all over the place. Eh. So couldn't get a good night's sleep. Didn't know it. Why am I itchy? Boom, take another one.
Oh
Start scratching.
no.
I look like a gorilla picking bugs off me. Scratching, 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 scratching. Live and learn. Right? A
Well,
lot of
now you
pain.
know. Are you allergic to codeine too?
No,
No.
no. Just
Just the
no,
oxygen.
I never really had enough, codeine or anything like that to to
Mhm.
even worry about it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, see, Vicky can't take anything with codeine in it.
Really.
Yeah.
Hmm. When I had the bladder cancer, the last surgery I had, they gave me this. I got sick. I don't know why the last one, but I got sick. They removed three tumors from the bladder, so now I had a Crown Vic and Marie's driving.
Uh huh.
So thank God we had 60-40 seats because she was all the way up and I'm all the way back. I got the thing laying back. I got
Oh,
the catheter hanging down, and all of a sudden, I could feel the side of my face swelling up.
oh no,
The frig is going on with this? Okay,
that's a reaction to something.
she hit she hit a railroad crossing that had a little hill on it, and all I know is laying back and we went airborne. She starts crying. Oh no! It looked like a Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh my gosh!
So as we as we're getting closer to the house, my tongue swelled up.
Oh
Man,
no!
talking like this. What the frig is going on? We get home and it took me like a half hour to get into the house. I climbed steps the whole bit, and I'm like done. I get in the house and the phone rings. So, hello, this is the nurse from the hospital, just checking to make sure wellness check, wanting to know if you made it home all right. So I give the phone to Marie. She said his face swelled up and his tongue is swollen. He can't talk. Get him right back here. And I went, Not on your life. I ain't
He's
taking
going
that
trying to
ride.
kill me.
Can I
I
send
ain't taking,
somebody?
I ain't taking that ride again. But I took this stuff Zofran to calm me down from vomiting.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And well, I'm
Don't
allergic
tell
to
me
that.
you're allergic to it.
Yep,
Oh
that's what it
no!
was. I said, I'll be here waiting to die. I am not getting that car with that woman again. No hell, no way.
You're gonna take your chances at home
Hmm.
with the Zofran.
I couldn't talk.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, she went through hell with me. I mean, as far as all the, all that surgery I had and all that. I
Well,
mean, pain was like ridiculous.
that's what we do, Tom.
And I know, I know. She come past me one night. She says, I had a good collection of wines,
Uh
all
huh.
different type of wines. And one night she says, I'm gonna crack a bottle of wine open. Knock yourself out. All right. All of a sudden, I'm in another room. Okay, and it's the second bedroom I was in because it was closest to the bathroom.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I see out of the corner of my eye, I see her walking past, but she's like dancing. Right? She's got the bottle in her hand, dance past the door, and then come back. She's a little bit lower. About drinking, and
Oh,
then she can pass again with drinking the wine right out of the bottle.
oh my. That's funny.
I said, "Boy, I tell you,
Well, I
unbelievable."
bet you that when you are not feeling well, you'd drive her to drink, wouldn't you?
Nah,
Are you a
not too
good
much.
patient? You're not a good patient when you're feeling good.
You know what? I want to be left alone. Let's put it.
Yeah, yeah, I
Kind
get
of
that.
way. That's the way I am.
Totally
Yeah,
get that.
I'm gonna, leave me alone. Marie tries to help too much, so her hands are always in the way.
Yeah,
Let me get this for you. Let me get that for you. Means
bless
well, you know.
And Vicky's the same way. She tries so hard to take care of me, and I told her, I said, I just give me some peace and quiet. Just
right.
Mm.
go watch TV or something. I'll call you.
Yeah.
2 minutes later, you need anything? You need anything? I mean, it just like you said, she means well. She's trying her best to take care of me, but
Yeah.
when I'm not feeling good, I don't want anybody around.
Yeah. It started with the bell. That was the thing.
With
Was
the what?
with the bell.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Hey, Alex, how you doing?
Hey,
Alex, what's up, man?
we we have that issue here, and Poppy's the one that's always trying to help. He get he tells everybody the story of when he had his first hip surgery, and the doctor told me Don't let him lay in the bed all for too long. On the third day, get him up. I said, I will. So for 2 days, I took him his food and I took him his coffee and I took him whatever he wanted. And that third day, he said, would you go get me some coffee? I said, no. He said,
Ah.
I said, no. You will go down and get your own coffee this morning. He cussed me.
Well,
Blankety blank blank. This isn't fair. Blankety blank. Well, we lived upstairs too. I mean, our bedroom was upstairs, and he
yeah.
had to go down the stairs. How am
Uh,
I gonna blankety blank get downstairs? I said, you're gonna have to figure it out.
yeah. I'm a private guy when it comes to anything like that. Don't help me get dressed and everything. But I broke my leg in North Carolina. Now I'm telling you, we lived in the middle of nowhere. My closest neighbor was 2 miles away
Oh,
in either direction. Okay, so when I broke my leg, it was a ice storm that we had. So I broke my leg and I'm sitting on the back of the tailgate of my truck. She's got me wrapped up in blanket. I look like a refugee. Okay,
oh,
with my foot bent like this, broken. She had me in Afghans and stuff like this, waiting for the ambulance to come.
right.
So she said, "Should I take off your shoe? You want to get shot? I mean, just stay away." Anyway, ambulance comes, takes me. Now we get back home again. I couldn't get up the stairs because
Yeah,
they give me a full leg cast
yeah,
up to my hip.
yeah.
Now, jerking around with all that all day. Now I have to tinkle. Okay,
Oh no.
I get into the bathroom. Bathroom's 5 foot wide. My leg, okay, is 5 foot. Okay, the way they had it, no matter which way I put it, and then I can't get off.
Okay, I'd have been peeing off the porch. Okay.
Well, Charlotte, you just about hit the nail on the head with that one. Okay, and now trying to maneuver, trying to get with this one leg. So
Mhm.
and no painkillers. I couldn't get nothing from the pharmacy. Nobody could deliver anything. Couldn't go there. They were closed because of this
Because
ice.
of the storm.
Okay, so this happened on a Thursday. So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. They finally opened up the roads, so I can go back to the
Mhm.
doctor, to an orthopedic, and then do what they had to do.
Right.
And I mean, no matter what I do, just like bing, you son of a.
Oh,
So I finally get a cast on the leg, but I can't get into the shower.
okay.
So we had a big stainless steel bowl. Okay. So
Mhm.
Marie thinks when you need hot water, it has to be boiling. Okay. So I'm pretty finicky about my hair. I don't like it greasy. I got to wash it every day. All that stuff.
Right.
I'm gonna wash your hair. Okay. So she puts this big bowl with a towel on my lap, my legs sticking out. Okay. And when I fell, it hurt my ribs, so I couldn't really raise my arms up and everything. Crutches didn't work. I mean, it just was a mess. But here's the funny thing: she poured this hot water in a pitcher, bend my head over, wipe it. I can take my scalpel. I'm screaming top of my lungs. So then she gets nervous. Okay, she washes my head and then she takes the hot water again, rinse it. All right. She started drying my hair I said, "What am I, a Buick, for Christ's sake?" Going like this with the towel. I mean, we can look back and laugh about it, but at the time
A
it was just
Buick.
hysterical.
Oh my gosh.
Just 100% funny as hell once we look back on it and stuff. But she tries to do too much, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Puppy does too much.
and
But
and,
I
and
do.
then
Where's
I'm sorry, Charlotte.
I'm sorry. Go ahead,
No,
Tom.
no. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say he does too much too because I have a bum ankle, right? I destroyed it when I was a teenager. It was broken in 4 places, and now it has arthritis in it. So occasionally, well, a lot, it will decide not to work while I'm walking in the mall, walking in Hobby Lobby, going into a restaurant, coming out of it, wherever. Happens in the kitchen when I'm doing it, just all the time. And when we're out in public, he'll make a big deal out of it. Like he'll come rushing over and grab me and say, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Leave me alone and let me stand here and bend my foot, okay? I will hold on to this shelf here. Please do not make a scene. We are in public." It drives me nuts. But he's always wanting to help. He'll give me as a here, I'll help you walk. No, don't help me do crap.
When Maria's sick, okay, and I need to, step up to the plate a little bit,
Hmm.
I start laughing because it winds up to be, all right, I'll get you, I'll fix you something, and then 2 minutes later she'll be sleeping. I go in and wake her up.
Oh,
You happen to know where that is? That
oh no.
I go back out, or I make a big mess and stuff like that, and she'll like get up and go out into the bathroom, look in the sink, going, "Oh no." So but she's pretty healthy. I mean, she's worried about she's because her brother died of Alzheimer's, really bad. Here's a guy who never spoke a word of Italian, and just before he died, was speaking fluent Italian.
What?
Yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah, singing in Italian the whole bit.
You know
Didn't
what? Was he from? I mean, was he born in Italy or
no, he's you know
was his parent? Did his parents speak Italian?
nope. His his his
That's crazy.
his dad did, but nothing. Not to them, when they were growing up or anything like
You
that.
know, a lot of people with Alzheimer's have very, very early memories. You know, I
I
think,
told Marie, you start telling me grazie and stuff like that, I'm shipping your ass out.
oh, Tom, don't scare her like that.
That's what she's worried about. So you know if she walks into a room and says, "Oh shit, I forgot what I'm here for,"
Oh,
to get, she starts worrying about that. I said, "Are you nuts?" I said, "I don't even know what day it is." So
yeah. How old is she, Tom?
Marie will be 71 in January.
If she's made it this far,
No, wait a minute. Before I'll be 71 in October. She's 71. She'll be 72 this January.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah, I'll be 71 in October.
okay.
Oh. Yeah, she went to the doctor, fit as a fiddle, no problems. Don't have to worry about taking anything.
Mm-hmm.
And what did he say to her? Oh, you had the mammogram. She said, yeah, and that's the last one.
Oh,
We're not
that's what
gonna,
she told him.
yeah, we're not doing this anymore. She said, there's no need for it.
Yeah,
So I said to her, I said if you can do that and have them hitting the floor, be a different story. Then I would
right.
suggest having it done. But no, I mean, they're pushing the limit now. I guess what I'm getting at is now they're looking for stuff,
Yeah.
and well,
Well, them doctors got to have a paycheck,
yeah, sure,
and they're trying new ways to figure out how to make that bank pay
yep,
back the student loans.
yeah. I said to him, I said to the doctor, why don't you have your own practice? Why don't you have your own like a family practice?
Too expensive.
And he says it's not feasible.
The insurance alone would probably, mm, the liability insurance, you
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
practice insurance. My daughter is a therapist and she has to carry liability insurance.
Hmm.
Her husband is a cop and he has liability insurance in case somebody sues him for arresting them.
Who would have thought that ever would happen?
I know, right?
Unbelievable. I can remember leaving a bar, okay,
Uh-huh.
getting pulled over by the police, okay, pull the car up over here, get off the road, give me the keys.
Oh,
Take the keys
really?
from you, okay? And come back just before the end of his shift, check you, and if you were still bad or whatever, okay,
Hmm.
find a way to get home or call a cab or something. But you're not
Hmm.
driving. Now they cuff and stuff you into the
Yeah,
point
they
where
do.
Oh
you know
yeah.
insurances and stuff like that. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's how they make money,
Of course. Yeah.
you know. But in their defense, people ought not to be drinking and driving anyway.
Oh yeah. Well, but they do.
They do, and hopefully they'll get caught.
Well, I ran a bar for many years, and most of my biggest customers, okay, best paying
Uh,
customers were cops.
mm.
Yeah. So my brother was chief of police for 32 years.
And he was one of your best customers too.
No, he. I mean, he had his
Wait a
fill, but
minute,
he.
you said he was an upstanding guy.
No, I'm saying that he drank, but he had
Yeah,
the badge back in them days. They'd flash the badge, and off they went.
it's still that way.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a shame that how it turned out. I mean, even here,
Mhm.
things are changing out here also. So you
Yeah,
would gamble and get a drink. You spend so much money, you get a drink.
that's right.
Okay, that's ending.
Is it?
They're stopping that because just because you go in and put $5 in or $20 in a slot machine, run
Hmm.
it through and start getting drinks. Okay, they
Hmm.
actually behind the bar they have a meter
Hmm.
for around. In other words, you want a drink, you got to give me your player's card.
Oh,
Okay, and they take the player's card and they put it into this machine. And as you're playing, or if you don't play and you want a drink or something like that, they won't give it to you. They'll charge you.
oh.
Yeah, so that's starting to change.
I don't know if that's going on down here or not. I'll have to ask some of my friends who go to the casinos because I don't go. I mean, I used to go every now and then with my daughter just to hang out with her because she liked to go. And I'd give myself maybe a 25 $50 limit. And I just figured I counted it up for entertainment, my
Yeah.
Right.
entertainment budget. And boy, she was lucky at that card table though. She could turn $100 into 4,000 in a New York minute. And I'm like,
Yeah.
how did you do that? But she's lucky.
Yeah.
But anyhow, even back then when we would go, it would take, they'd ask you if you'd want a drink. Well, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and give me I don't know, vodka and cranberry juice. Just say.
Hmm.
It would take them 30 minutes to bring it to you. And
Yeah.
then when you're done with it, and it wasn't in nothing but a little tiny Dixie cup, just about.
Yep.
And then it would take them another 45 minutes to come back around and ask you if you wanted more. Well, I never really wanted more, but still, that's the point. Took them
Hmm.
that long. So I don't know how they ever wasted any money with that little deal. But then
Yeah.
again, I understand there's a lot of people out there that drink a lot more than I do.
The fact of the matter is that when, especially off the strip, because most of the time, if you are staying on the strip, you're not driving. You know what I mean?
Right, right,
But
right.
if you're off the strip, it's getting more and more.
Like in a bar playing the poker machines and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Exactly.
I see.
Exactly. So that's starting to turn a lot of people off to where the business is down. Really is.
Really?
Yeah. 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 Food costs are so it's ridiculous. Just to go get a steak is $85
Oh
in a
my
regular
God.
in a regular place. eighty
I
five
could I
dollars
couldn't enjoy a steak that costs that much. I don't
Uh,
care how
for
good it is.
ribeye. Yeah, for
yeah.
a ribeye is $85.
I'll go spend 14.99 a pound on it and
Yeah,
cook it
yeah.
myself.
And that's what justifies me as far as well, if you're going to go out and they're going to charge,
Hmm.
well, look what they're getting in the restaurant. Yeah, but look what they're paying for the meat. So they got to get their stuff back.
Right.
But I'll be damned. Okay, if I'm going to go sit in a place, I'm more qualified than the guy in the back there cooking the steak.
To cook it. Yeah.
I'd rather buy it, bring it home, and cook it that way. So
And it would be delicious, and you'd be in a quiet, safe,
yeah, yeah.
comfortable
I don't eat
environment.
steak out very often. I'm usually disappointed when I do.
Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm.
Even anything else like today, I did that video about
Mhm.
the calamari, and this calamari steak that I did. Hey, I never did it before. Okay, and I
Mhm.
tell you
Drunken
what.
chef, how you doing?
Hey, chef, what's up, brother?
Hey, chef.
My man. I'll never buy. Like I said before, I'll never buy that again because it was cheap enough, and it was just as good quality. You know what I mean? And same thing with the shrimp. Okay,
Mhm.
everybody's up in arms about, oh, if it ain't Gulf shrimp or quarter in the Americas, I don't want no part of it. You have no damn clue.
You
That's
really
true.
don't.
Well, I'll
Really.
tell you what happened today. Violet was at work, and they got a load of shrimp in off the boat down here on the Gulf.
Hmm.
And she loves biology of all sorts, animal biology, plant biology, all of it. That's what she's studying in
Hmm.
college. Well, she's looking through the shrimp, trying to help the guy pull the heads off of them, and found a squid. That girl brought it home in a jar of vodka. It is sitting in her room right now, sleeping with her.
Don't let me see it. I'll saute that sound gun right up.
It's got its head on, it's got its legs, it's got its tentacles, whatever. It is. And she goes, "Isn't it beautiful, Mom?" And I said, "Oh dear, no. Well, it kind of looks like a big old goober, but
Be good on a piece of toast with some garlic.
I know,
Yeah.
right?" But boy, she was so proud of herself. "Mom, look what I brought home." I said, "What
So
the
so I got this. I got these two small eggplants. They were about that big. Okay.
ooh.
And what I did was I have the mandolin, but it also has two different sizes where you can make French fries with them. Okay, you can
Mhm.
make them small or or regular size French fries.
Yeah.
So what I did was, being that today was the whole theme of it was when I would get done work, when I do get done with my shift cooking. Okay, get in
Mhm.
the car and I would run into the city, like 30 miles away, and that was my playtime. I would go
Yeah.
in and back in 1975 is when most of these Italian restaurants were introducing calamari.
Mhm.
We called it galamad, okay, and it was deep fried the whole bit. The Greeks had grilled uh, calamari, grilled squid, and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I would go to the Italian places. So the whole idea was like going back to my roots, and the theme is with this channel is that I'm going to be doing a cookbook with it, but each time, every month when I make a video,
Mhm.
I need a name for it. So that's what the theme is.
Oh, okay.
So, and if you give me the name of it and it jives, I'll put your name on it and it'll be in the cookbook.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Gulf Coast Granny said this should be blah blah blah, and that's what the name of this thing is. So I'm going to do just making 12 different recipes.
Yeah.
Nice.
But so I took the eggplant that I had and I made them into French fries. Okay, and I deep fried them. Got
Mhm.
golden. I got to tell you, if you have never done that before, all right, try it. It's
Sounds delicious.
fantastic.
Did you
So I,
flour them or anything?
yeah, I put flour. It's all in the video. Flour, paprika. The only thing I don't put in there is garlic or onion because that burns
Right,
in your fry.
right.
So I just leave stuff in there, some oregano and stuff like that. Whatever. I'm telling you, they were fantastic. So I made the calamari, shrimp, and the eggplant.
Mhm.
So the song that I had going along with it was I need a name, okay, for
Mhm.
calamari, shrimp, and eggplant. Okay, and the song I put a short up on it too.
Oh, okay.
This was fantastic. I mean, what a flavor it had, and it brought me right back to the time. Jane's right on it, man. I tell you, what.
She's on top of it, isn't she?
She's right on it. Yep. So it was pretty fun. In fact, later on when we get done, I did it early, and later on Marie says, "You want any more?" I said, "Yeah, give me some." So she put it in the pan to reheat it again. Normally, that stuff you either have to put it in the oven again.
Yeah,
To,
yeah.
I tell you what, it was really good. The eggplant, like French fries, boy, it was delicious. It
Huh.
it was delicious.
Well, I have some eggplant growing outside, and I've just found a flower on one of my plants. And maybe I'll do that with my first eggplant that I get because that sounds really good to me.
Yeah, I mean, you squeeze a little lemon on it, whatever. Man, it was
Yeah.
good.
Mm.
It came out really, really good.
But now I have acquired a taste for eggplant. I didn't used to care for it at all. And then I found a recipe for roasted eggplant, and
Hmm.
it changed my whole life.
Yep.
It was delicious, and that's how I make it now. But that deep fried method sounds really good too. What kind of oil did you use to?
I had to make a blend. I had to get olive oil and
Mm-hmm.
also avocado oil, and
Mm-hmm.
then I had to put in some canola oil in it.
Okay.
More olive and avocado, but it's getting expensive now.
It
So
is. It really is. I just bought a smaller bottle of olive oil to top off olive oil, the olive oil bottle that y'all, and it was $11 for I think about 8 ounces.
yeah, it's crazy.
I'm
It's
like,
completely crazy.
gosh, because
I
the bottle
did.
I usually buy was close to $30.
I just did a whole Monday's podcast. I
Mm-hmm.
did about the food prices and what to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to stop bitching and complaining about it, but
And give
different
solutions.
alternatives.
Yeah.
Charlie from Cooking Secrets for Men, he's put on the last podcast I did about. Well, I feel like we're going more plant based, and he knows how I am about that.
Yeah.
And then he sort of came back on it again because I gave him a whole spiel about the red meat issue is a myth. They're coming out with now, and it's the most any kind of meat we absorb 90% of it more than anything else, any other food that we eat.
No kidding.
Yeah, and so he came back. He went, no. He says I meant the older we get because we can't afford it that we're going
Oh, oh,
more
oh,
with the
oh.
vegetables. I
Yeah.
said I totally agree. I totally agree with you. So even like zucchini and stuff like that,
Hmm.
patty pans they're fantastic. Patty pan
Oh,
actually
I love patty pan.
tastes just like a potato, really,
Hmm.
in my eyes. So
That's actually Poppy's favorite squash,
yeah,
and I've got a couple. I got a couple of those plants growing out there too.
and until these growers start saying that they become trending and selling a lot of it, then they raise the price on that also.
Yeah.
So
Well, they can raise it all they want because my garden will grow plenty of it
and
till the
that,
vine boring bugs get busy.
and that's what I'm telling everybody. Learn how to grow your own. I mean, you can do
Hmm.
patio, grow stuff in the patio, especially the stuff that you like.
Right. Right. Um. What is that?
I
Let's-
like $50 bills, but I have a hard time growing them bastards.
Ain't that the truth?
They
Yeah,
just don't seem to
they
take
don't
to our
take.
soil.
They don't take.
I'll be right
Unbelievable.
back, guys.
Yeah, Vicky, she doesn't like eggplant of any type. I do. But the other day, it's a couple of months ago, we was at a Mediterranean restaurant
Hmm.
that I had found. I took her to it. And what's the roasted eggplant they mix up like hummus? Uh,
Yeah,
I forget
I
what
know.
that's called.
I know what you mean.
Anyway, I ordered that, and she wanted to know what it was. I said it's hummus. She said it don't look like hummus. I said it's got paprika on it. We
She
sat there and ate that, and just about finished it. And I told her, I said, "What do you think of that?" She said, "Oh, that's pretty good. We could order that again." I said, "That was eggplant." She said, "No, there's no way that was eggplant."
Yeah, yeah.
So
There. I mean,
I found a way that she'll eat it.
and there again, see, that's where I try to keep an open mind with things because I don't like beans, any kind of bean whatsoever. Okay, I'll cook them, I'll do anything you want with them, but as far as me to eat them, I just don't like them.
Yeah.
You know,
Hmm.
uh, But Marie made a thing with beans one time and pureed them the whole bit and put them on top of something. That's what is pretty good. What is it? Beans. And then you feel like. So yeah,
So
I
you don't
mean,
like refried beans or anything like that?
I want to know why they call them refried. What happened the first time they fried them?
Well, I don't know, but somebody didn't eat them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't eat none of that stuff like that. Grumpus, that's I've been meaning to ask you this every time we come up. What was the name of the, or tell me the name of the Mexican restaurant that was all over Houston with the woman, the older woman, Maria something.
Ninfas.
It was like you'd see like an older woman with gray hair
Yeah,
was on
yeah,
the menu.
that was Ninfas. Her original restaurant was down on Navigation. Then she had them all over Houston.
Yeah, we would go there, okay, and they bring out the chips and all the stuff. That's where my joke come out. Do you want refried beans? No, what happened the first time you fried them? And we go back and forth. But we would go in there quite a bit, and they would make this fajita for me, okay, and they would just was fantastic. It just was unbelievable.
Yeah,
They made their own chips and stuff like that with the salsa and
they were
everything.
famous for the fajitas.
Yeah, and it was very good. It was really good. And I'm just thinking about that the other night. I said, well, a while back when we were going on, I said, God, I gotta ask Grumpus what that was, if they're still around down there or not.
I think there might be one or two. I heard they kind of sold out,
Okay.
but I don't know for sure. I just heard it through the grapevine. I think she might have died, and the kids sold everything off,
Okay.
or they sold everything off right before she died. I can't remember.
Yeah, that was a great place. That's where I found out that I had a real bad reaction to tequila.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm kind of allergic to it too. It really affects my walking.
It
yeah.
makes me invisible.
I all of a sudden I had this affliction about Harris County sheriffs.
Oh,
Yeah, I really had. Whew, it was ugly. But, and there's something about the 610 loop. It just, I don't know, I couldn't get off it.
good grief.
There was a lot of good places in Houston.
Oh, I bet there is.
Yeah.
It's
Down in Westheimer, there was a place, the hell was it called? It was a steak place, Texas Tumbleweed.
Oh yeah, I don't know if there's any of those around anymore.
This was a big place. They cooked everything over mesquite.
Yeah, yeah,
And sit down picnic tables. They have a band start at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Going
yeah. There
great.
used to be one there up off of 1960 in Kirkendall.
Mm-hmm.
I think there was another one on your side of town, if I remember right.
Yeah, that was over on Westheimer.
And
Close enough.
I don't think they're open anymore.
Great place.
Haven't. I mean, it may still be over there, but I haven't seen one in a long time.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, it was in the old Wilco store. Wilco. Wilco went under,
Yeah,
and
Wilco.
they went
Yeah,
in there. That's how big it was. That's how big this place was.
yeah,
oh wow.
2 or 3 bars, and in the center of it, they had this big pit. Okay, it was like a Santa Maria, type of thing.
yeah,
Put it
yeah.
up, throw the mesquite in, lower it down, and they cooked T-bones, filet mignons, ribeyes,
Mm.
um, New
And like
York
4 or
strip.
5 people cooking at one time. There's meat flying everywhere.
Yep. And you sat down at a picnic table. It was just the two of you. You sat with 4 other people.
Yeah.
And they bring
Oh,
out stuff. Yeah, it was cool as hell. And the girl, I said to the girl, I ordered the porterhouse.
mhm.
And I said to the girl, I said, I need a knife. She went, no, you don't.
Just pick it up and eat it.
And I said, okay. Boop, cut it, and off it went. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Well, folks,
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna shut this down about 15 more minutes.
Okay.
I hear you. I appreciate you let me up here.
Hey, I'm glad we could pull it off. I wasn't sure if I was gonna get 5 minutes in and get dropped or not.
Right. Um, I'm sorry I wasn't such great company tonight. I'm just I started a new diamond painting.
Oh,
So
you're
I'm
kind of getting
just
hooked on that, aren't you?
yeah, it's a lot of fun for me. I finished the world map and I needed something else to do. But I also just ordered myself some paint by number kits. And I'm gonna try my hand at that. I haven't done it since I was a child. And I remember enjoying it when I was little,
Yeah.
but I also when I was shopping for one, because I thought paint my numbers is a kid, just a kid thing. Well, it is not.
Some people take it serious.
Yes, sir, they
Mm.
do. And some of the paintings are just beautiful.
Mm.
And I'm real leery about my ability to do one because it's very kind of pixelated because you only draw in the lines and how do you blend the color so it doesn't look like there's a line. A lot of people just leave the lines.
Mm.
I'm not going to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Know the way it's supposed to look because my granny was an art teacher and she would spank me if I left the lines.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's probably going to take me a long time to finish the one that I want to do, but it'll be something to do and it'll be entertaining and
That's cool.
for me.
Yeah.
And
Mar-
maybe, I don't know.
Marie, I feel bad for her. She can't paint no more.
Oh,
She's arthritis and just
Mm.
that is
not,
really unfortunate.
not good. Not good.
No.
I told her it's a bitch to get old. Really is. I mean, just I got I got down on the floor the other day fooling around with this computer thing here. You want to see that? That should have been a video. Me trying to get the frig up. And naturally, I'm
Should have
trying to
set
get
a
up.
camera up on a tripod and let her rip.
Right?
Naturally, I'm trying to get my balance on a chair with wheels on it. Okay, and I rode that joker into the living room. So yeah, it's not fun. This is really serious. Getting old, you know.
It is. And I don't like it. But in my head, I'm not an old lady.
No,
Oh no,
no.
no.
In
I
my
think
head, I
I'm.
can still do everything I could do 30 years
That's
ago.
right.
Christ, I
And,
feel like I'm a triathlon.
well, I would never have done that even when I was young. However, I'm still cute AF. I told Violet the other day, I said, because she's been seeing this guy and it's getting kind of a little more deep than I want it to be for her. So I was telling her, I said, I'm really afraid for you because I'm afraid you're going to settle on the first guy that pays attention to you, or maybe the third, and you're going to rob yourself of future opportunities.
Yep.
I said, and what I need you to understand is you're a beautiful young lady. You're very smart, and you could have any man out there you want. All you got to do is smile pretty. That's it. I said, and I'm not saying you need to have a rich one. That's not what this is about. What it is about is having somebody that you have something in common with, somebody that is your best buddy, all the good stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that when these young people get attached to one person, whatever happened to dating?
They
You
don't
know,
do that no more?
not really. I mean, they go out on dates, but they stick with the same person and they don't experiment. Like, shoot, when I was her age,
Marie won't let me date. I just don't get that one.
I don't
Yeah.
understand that. But but after I got divorced, when I was her age, I was pregnant. But after I got divorced, I was 21, I think, 20 or 21. And I went on dates 2 or 3 times a week. And I had a lot of fun just meeting people, going on dates, and very few expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was fun. But I don't think kids today understand that dating concept. They think dating is being in a relationship and doing grown up activity.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I told her, I said, that's not what dating's all about. Dating is finding the kind of people you want to hang with,
Right.
the kind of person you want, finding out the things that you're not willing to tolerate,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff.
Well,
Y-
I'll
y-
tell you, my when my ex was gone,
Mm-hmm.
and I was 50 years old, deciding to date.
Oof.
That's the scariest thing I ever went through in my life.
Oh, it sounds terrifying.
There are some loonies out there.
Yes. Yes, there are.
I thought I was nuts, but man, I met some gals just absolute batshit crazy.
Certifiable.
when I got divorced, I was 30 something, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't, I mean, I had no interest in it because I was working. I was always
Yeah.
working, always
Yeah.
had a good time and this and that. And, whatever came around, whatever. But I didn't get serious with nobody. I just, I, I was like gun shy with it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, but then when Marie started working with us, came to work for me, and then that was her second job,
Yeah.
and we just hit it off. And then I'm seeing, this person that I knew for a
Mm-hmm.
long time, know her family the whole bit,
Yeah.
and watching her struggle the way she struggled. You know what I mean? With holding down two jobs and the whole bit, and that's when I started coming around to date. I had no time to date, to go anywhere and
Right.
stuff. You know what I mean? If we did do anything, it was from 2 o'clock in the morning on.
Yeah.
So when we got together, it was more or less like a comfort for the both of us, to
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
she could get away from that nuts, that nutty style she had. I mean, trying to keep two jobs and the whole bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and it was more of a comfort for me also because we worked together. That's when we'd see each other. Just go out, have a drink, and she'd go her way, I go home, and then we started living together. And then, but the thing I did with her was, I said, man, maybe we'll get married. Okay. Oh, she was all happy. Called her mother the whole bit. Oh, we're gonna get married. And I said, wait a while. We'll wait a while. You rat bastard. So, but here we are. So my best friend.
Well, that's what I did. I married my best friend. Me and Vicky dated for almost 7 years.
Yeah.
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 But
I take that back. It must have been about 6.
Yeah.
But what I found out in a hurry, I mean,
uh-huh.
45, 50 years old, that's a rough age to be trying to,
Mm-hmm.
because some of these gals are they're old, they're set in their ways. They've been shit on several times, so you got to pay the price for every mean thing they ever think a man did to them.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then the other extreme is you got divorced women with kids that are looking for a sugar daddy or a baby daddy,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and trying to find somebody and arrange there just has something in common. Wants to go out and have, like I said, have a few drinks, have a good time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, s- Slim pickings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sure is. Sure is. And going through it in the beginning, I could see like she was always in a panic, always hyper the whole
Yeah,
bit, and just looking, what am I going to do here? This and that. One night, she waited on the table of 8, okay, and they left her 58 cents tip.
Oh no.
She grabbed the money, and I seen her going out the door. What the hell is that all about? When I got to the door, she threw the money at you, rat. She started yelling at him. The whole thing, oh, I'm sorry. And he come back, and he says, I thought the other guy was going to leave you a tip, give her the tip. That's how That's how tight things were for her. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was, what was I doing? I was working, going here, going there. Day off, I go play golf or
Hmm.
go get, have a few drinks or whatever. And yeah, I mean, just we come on, let's go have a drink somewhere. Okay. And we talk about old times, the whole 9 yards, and then bang, there it was. So yeah, my best friend. That's basically what it come out to be.
I saw that, Susie. I saw that Instagram reel. That was funny. Um, so she saw an Instagram that was funny. A woman saying if she were ever to get married again, because she likes to go to bed when she wants to, read when she wants to, and watch TV when she wants to, and what she wants to watch. So he'll have to live next door. Yep, he'll have to live next door.
Sound like a sweet deal to me.
Yeah.
I tried to get Poppy to do that deal. He said no. I don't know why. We might like each other better if he did.
Yeah. I mean, we're both born in the same year. She just that her birthday comes in
Hmm.
January. Okay, mine's
Yeah.
in October. But
By the
there's
way, I'm
certain.
teasing y'all. I'm
Yeah, I
sorry.
know.
I
Yeah,
say
I
that.
know.
I'm teasing.
We get along better. We have the same, almost the same interests, and almost the same stuff. How we were brought up.
Uh huh.
You know. I
Uh huh.
mean, I got. I mean, on here, I got a bunch of ties. Okay. In my hair. So I'll tie up a wire. You know, these
Mm-hmm.
ties you get on packages and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, come to find out, I look in one of the drawers the other day. She's got a bigger bunch of ties in there. So I mean that's what I'm talking about as far as
Hmm.
our likes and stuff like that. Even with food, as far as food is concerned.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm happy
Well,
and
it,
now that I'm
it,
getting older, I don't want nothing to happen to her. You know what I mean?
it's
Of
good
course.
that two people can pull the yoke evenly.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yep, yep. She will not let me do dishes or anything else like that. And I said, well, that's pretty nice. She said, no, I just don't trust you to wash dishes. So, okay,
It worked.
yeah. And something I told her the other day, I said, boy, a lot of dust in here. Out here, there is a lot of dust.
Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So I sit there, I says, a lot of dust up there. She says, well, you reach and you dust it. What the hell I look like? The John. Okay. So I told her I'll do all the high stuff. She does the bottom stuff. And we get along good. We really do. If we argue, it's over something stupid. I mean, we don't have no arguments about anything where I hate your
Nothing
guts or anything
major.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. It's about toilet paper rolled this way or that way. You know
Oh
what
Yep.
I
no,
mean?
that's a big one around here.
Yeah. So are you are
She
you
don't
an
even
o-
cross that line.
are you are you over or under?
It's got to be over.
Oh
See,
yeah.
I'm
I'm
on,
over.
I'm under. She wants to be
Oh
over.
no.
Yeah.
We can't be friends anymore.
Well, let me tell you what goes on in my house. Poppy will take. We have. It's like on a, you know, an open-ended paper towel holder, and it'll hold three rolls,
Yeah.
right? And I did that because these people eat it or something around here. And I always wanted to make sure there was enough in there. Well, I'm always the one goes in the bathroom. I have to look and make sure there's toilet paper in there. If there's not, I'm the one going to fetch it. Poppy will take it off of the thing instead of just rolling it out. He'll take it off, set it on the sink, and leave the room. And then the cats knock it into the sink after he's turned the water on for the cat. I'm like, I don't have the money to be doing this to toilet paper every other day. Keep it on the roll thing.
For the
Gee.
past couple weeks now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's the paper or if it's me. Not the toilet, but the paper towels.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm doing a video, in between, I like to wipe things down, blah blah blah. But
Mm-hmm.
I take the paper towel and I go to rip it off. It don't rip right. It rips. In other words, I can't get a full sheet out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It tears. I tried it each way, nice and easy. Rips down the wrong way. So the other day I took it and I threw it. Well, hit the door, rolled out, and it rolled across the floor. Okay, down in underneath one of the cabinets. Yeah, rat. I got this 14-foot paper towel. She says, she said, try ripping it now.
Maybe it'll
Unbelievable.
rip if you stand on it.
Yeah.
Oh
I
my
don't know.
goodness.
Well, guys, I'm going to hit the trail because I got to get up early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
I
it's
have to
about
get.
time to wrap it up. You got to do anything fun tomorrow?
Tomorrow, what are we doing tomorrow? Tomorrow, I had something planned. Now I can't think of it. That's the other good thing too. Now I'm starting to forget shit. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, I lost my flashlight 4 times in 2 hours tonight. Every time I turn around, what the hell did I do with that flashlight?
I said to her the other day, "You see my glasses? Can't find them anywhere." Unbelievable.
Well, I cheated. I picked up a frozen lasagna for tomorrow because I'm watching Indy and I ain't cooking.
Ay, ay, ay. I don't know. All right, guys. Listen, I thank you for having me up. I really do
Hey,
appreciate it.
anytime. It's always a pleasure.
Everybody in chat, thank you. And I will talk to you all later.
Y'all have a
Your
good
time.
weekend and a good week. And
Okay.
you too, Charlotte. We'll see you later.
Bye bye.
So long, everybody.
Elvis has left the building.